It's time for Angels Spring Training Baseball. This afternoon from Tempe Diablo Stadium, it's the Angels and the Los Angeles Dodgers. Hi, everybody. This is Terry Smith along with Jose Mota. Jose, weekend baseball for the Angels here in Tempe. The weather is cooperating. It's nice and warm, and today we'll see Jared Weaver for the first time.
And also, along with us, many fans making the trek from Southern California, Terry, are here to see who? The Weave, the ace of the staff, who's looking forward to getting started here. Remember, this tale of two spring training is kind of over. The first week, it's gone now. The rotation gets into the flow. Jared Weaver, 20-game winner last year. The number speaks for themselves in his career. And also remember, Terry, he did not have the greatest of springs. Last spring was an ERA over 5, but it didn't matter.
He should make 30 to 40 pitches, and he talks about the early part of spring training.
It's a little different now that I know that I can take this time in spring training to still get my body ready for the beginning of the season. Take it slow. Obviously, you do a lot of work in the off season to get ready for spring, but it's still not the same. You go out there and strap those cleats on. There's going to be some soreness, even though you did work your butt off in the off season. You're still going to have some soreness whirling into spring. So now you can kind of work through that soreness and you know, take your time and pay attention to your bullpens a little bit more. You don't have to go full bore anymore. You just you know, kind of work into it. So it's nice to have this 2 months to kind of still get ready, as opposed to having to be ready when you first get in.
Jose, we've had a chance to watch Jared Weaver grow up in an Angels uniform, and so far, so good.
It's amazing, Terry. It doesn't matter who he is surrounded by, as he will this season with 3 newcomers to the rotation. He is the guy that they look up to, and the pitchers themselves between Blanton, Hanson, and Vargas have told me already they're looking forward to this start out here because he is the lead dog. But all these guys here complement each other so well. From Blanton, who has pitched already in the American League West, he comes from the Dodgers and the Phillies now. Jason Vargas, former teammate and roommate of Jared Weaver, will be watching him here today. And Tommy Hanson making the adjustment to the American League, but a guy that we know through the years is rooted in baseball and winning baseball with the Braves for many years.
And we'll see those 3 pitching for the Angels over the next few days here in Tempe. They'll all be making their first start for the Angels so far here in the Cactus League. Well, Jose, for any pitcher to be successful, he needs to have good defense up the middle.
Well, these guys that play behind, you know, all these starters and the relievers, between Ibar and Kendrick, talking about guys up the middle of the infield, it is good to see how much they have matured as infielders, catching the ball, turning the double plays, counting on each other. These guys have played against each other since the minor leagues, and it's very noticeable at times when you know they know where each guy is and where he needs to be. Now, with the bats, they both got off to semi-slow starts last year, but the numbers tell you how good they are as they matured as players and as hitters, Terry, how their numbers jumped up in the second half of the season. It was amazing how you and I kept saying Eric Ibar was hitting, what, 160 somewhere in May and ends up hitting over 290. Pretty amazing how Kendrick, to himself, was a 300 hitter after the All-Star break.
We won't see either Ibar or Kendrick in the lineup today, but we'll certainly see them backing up Weaver quite a bit this season.
Yeah, we will see that. And the thing is, you have 2 guys in Ibar and Kendrick that can help you on both sides. Also, 2 guys that if they need to steal a base for you, they will do that. And for the pitchers, as you mentioned, Weaver in the rotation is, they will go out there and visit the mound and understand exactly how to get these guys quietly, how to trust their defense, and certainly it's good to look back as a pitcher and see that duel behind you because you know you're going to trust them with their gloves.
Well, we will see Mike Trout in the lineup for the Angels. I'm sure the fans here in Tempe are excited about that. Josh Hamilton will play for the Angels as well today. He will be the Angels' designated hitter. It's the Angels and the Los Angeles Dodgers. It's a beautiful day for baseball in the Valley as the Angels get ready to try and pick up that first win this spring. It's coming up next, the lineups and today's game on Fox Sports West.
once again here in Tempe Diablo Stadium. So good you could join us on the Angels Baseball Network and on Fox Sports West. Angels and Dodgers, Southern Californians meeting here in Tempe. The Angels 0-5 record with 2 ties. The Dodgers are off to a 3-1 record. They have also tied a couple of times here in Cactus League action. Time for the lineups. The Dodgers will be managed today by Lorenzo Bundy, longtime minor league manager, as they're playing a split squad over in Glendale. Also, and they're being managed, of course, over there by Don Mattingly. D. Gordon, the speedster, leads off. Gordon is playing shortstop. Skip Schumacher will bat second. Schumacher is playing second base. Andre Ethier is in right field for L.A., and he is batting third. Luis Cruz, Cochito Cruz is mighty hot. 2 home runs already. Cruz continues his torrid hitting that he started last season during the regular season. Cruz is at third base. Batting fifth, former Angel farmhand Jeremy Moore. Moore is in center, having a pretty good spring. Juan Uribe back at first base where he played yesterday. Uribe is batting sixth. Behind the plate for the Dodgers, batting seventh is Tim Fedorovich. Fedorovich is batting seventh as the catcher. Tony Gwynn Jr. makes a start in left field, batting eighth. And batting ninth is Wilkin Castillo, designated hitter. For Mike Scioscia's Angels, again, looking for that first win here this spring. Mike Trout is leading off. Mike Trout is in left field. Batting second is Peter Borges. Borges in center. Batting third is Josh Hamilton, who will be in the designated hitter today. Hamilton is batting third. Mark Trumbo at first base is batting fourth. Chris Iannetta, Angels catcher, will bat fifth. Luis Rodriguez battling for a spot as a utility backup infield. Rodriguez is playing second base, batting sixth. Luis Jimenez getting a long look here this spring. The young third baseman is batting seventh. Andrew Romine will be at shortstop, batting eighth. And Scott Cousins is in right field, and he is batting ninth. For the Angels on the mound, Jared Weaver. Weaver last spring training, which obviously saw him make his debut, in fact, against the Dodgers. He had a 2-2 record and an ERA of 5.40. Terry, obviously, that was not a matter of concern because the man went out and got together a 20-win season.
Absolutely. Jared Weaver a year ago, a brilliant record for the Angels. 20 wins, 5 losses. His ERA last season was 2.81. And a year ago, looking at Weaver's numbers, he was third overall in earned run average. He was tied for first in victories last season. And a pitcher who in 30 starts for the Angels last year had 21 quality starts. Weaver going for the Angels today, slated to make somewhere between 30 to 40 pitches. And we'll see how Weaver fares today as he takes on the Dodgers. The Angels are making their way out to the field wearing the red tops and the white pants. The Dodgers have on their blue tops and their gray pants for today's ball game. Jared Weaver, fastball. He'll throw a sinker, slider, curve, very good changeup. Those are the pitches that he will be featuring for the Angels today. And the first 3 in the batting order for the Dodgers. D. Gordon will be followed by Skip Schumacher, and then Yasiel Puig, who is going to be in right field. Jose mentioned the Dodgers have a split squad day today, and in their other game, they are in action against the Padres, and former Angel Zach Greinke will get the start in that ball game. And we understand in that Dodger game against the Padres, Matt Kemp is going to make his debut for the Dodgers. He will be DHing for them, scheduled to have a couple of at-bats for the Dodgers in his first game this spring. As far as the umpires, it will be Stu Sherwater calling balls and strikes. The other umpires on the bases, Gary Darling, along with Alan Bailey. And the fourth man of this crew is Joel Spatka. We saw him as the home plate umpire a couple of days ago here in Tempe.
Terry, originally they had Andre Ethier in their lineup in their traveling squad, so he was a scratch Ethier, as you mentioned, for Puig.
Right, either scratched because of a callus on his right hand, a little nagging problem that he's had, so he did not travel here today for this ball game against the Angels in Tempe. The dimensions here: 340 down the left field side, 420 to dead center. Power alleys in left center and right center go about 400 feet, and down the right field corner 359. So we are set for baseball. First batter up for the Dodgers is D. Gordon, and he's playing short for them today. Gordon is yet to get a hit this spring. He's gone 0 for 6. So Jared Weaver ready to go. His first pitch in the Cactus League, and he's ready. Here it comes, and that one is in there for a called strike at the knees. We're underway. The count 0-1. 68 degrees at game time, and here's the 0-1 delivery. That's high, it misses, and the count even. It's 1 ball, 1 strike. Around the infield, Trumbo starting at first base. The second baseman is Luis Rodriguez, the third baseman Luis Jimenez, and the shortstop is Andrew Romine. Chris Iannetta behind the plate, and here's the next pitch, and that one is low in the outfield. Mike Trout in left, Peter Borges in center, Scott Cousins in right. The DH is Josh Hamilton, and 30-year-old right-hander Jared Weaver on the hill. 2-1 is the count on Gordon. Jared is ready, and the 2-1 pitch. It's a liner just out of the reach of Romine, the shortstop. It rolls into left center field. So D. Gordon has a base hit to start off the Dodgers' first inning. And Skip Schumacher, we saw him in the lineup for the Dodgers yesterday. He will get ready for his first at bat today.
Something the Dodgers would like to see more of. D. Gordon shooting through the infield and using that speed. So immediately, this becomes a base running test for Weaver. The speedster at first base.
So Schumacher digs in, left-handed batter. He was with the Cardinals last year, and the pitch, the first one caught the outside part of the plate for a called strike. 0-1.
Again, this is all about getting a feel. Weaver told me before today, obviously, this is about getting a feel for the baseball. Not going to be too concerned about what Gordon does right now at this point. Of course, he wants to compete, but he wants a sense of the mound, the slope, landing, and arm slots more than anything.
Runner goes D. Gordon. The pitch is low. Throw down to second. It's late. Stolen base. So Gordon, who can run, he had 32 stolen bases last year for the Dodgers, steals second.
And we don't tear during the regular season. Different story. As good as Weaver has become in holding runners, Gordon would have seen a move or 2 or 3 out there already for his first base.
Jared Weaver did a lot better job last year controlling the running game for the Angels, and the pitch a little bit low and away. 2-1 to count. Weaver has a good pickoff move for a right-hander, a sneaky move.
Go back 3 years ago, and he was one of those guys that runners around the league wanted on the mound to get on and run. That's a different case now. That's how much detail-oriented he has been with his game, and to try to incorporate and get better at each aspect of his game.
Weaver allowed 27 stolen bases back in the 2010 season, just 9 a year ago. Here's a lazy fly ball lifted to left field. Mike Trout circles under, and he'll put it away. That's the game's first out. So Gordon stays at second, 1 away, and Yasiel Puig will be the next batter.
A pretty good read there by Mike Trout. The difference in playing on left field, obviously, is that slice from the left-handed batters. Did a good job finding the baseball first and then playing the slice, knowing that everything's going to be going to his right.
We saw Puig in yesterday's game. Young player, only 22 years old, a Cuban defector, and a player that the Dodgers are very high on. They think he has a chance to be an impact player in time at the major league level. So limited action last year in rookie ball and A-ball. There's a pickoff toss to second. Diving back to the bag goes D. Gordon. We're just underway in Tempe. No score, top of the first inning.
Terry, Peter Borges. That's how you play the game. In center field, he sees the play is on, and immediately he knows the responsibility is to back the play up. And he was right there where he needed to be, backing up that play.
Weaver looks at second. Good size lead. There goes Gordon. He's trying to steal third. Pitches high. Throw to third. Not in time. D. Gordon stealing second base and now stealing third base in this inning.
We'll see two sides of guys getting ready, like a Weaver, his first start here in spring training, and guys trying to make a ball club and make a quick impression. That's the case with D. Gordon. Hitting the ball through the middle and stealing a couple of bags.
Well, D. Gordon was itching to get on base. He had not had a hit this spring, got a leadoff hit today, and since getting that hit, a couple of stolen bases, the Angels have brought the infield in with one out. The pitch, it's fouled back to the screen. 1 ball, 1 strike on Puig.
Like any young player, and Puig obviously was not one of those guys that was well known internationally in Cuba, but of course his talent well known. So he hasn't been exposed to that type of caliber baseball as others have, like the Cespedes.
And there's a pitch that's low and outside. 2 balls, 1 strike, the count.
Talent-wise, they consider him a 5'2" player. And look at the size, and certainly being exposed to big league pitching here in spring training this early in his career, it's going to be a plus, they hope.
Weaver is behind on Puig. Next pitch swung on and missed. Got him to chase one low and away, and then diving back to the bag at third base is the base runner D. Gordon. Iannetta was setting up after getting that pitch from Jared to fire the ball to third, but held on to the baseball. Luis Cruz waits on deck. He had a home run against the Angels yesterday in Glendale. The 2-2 on Puig, and that's low and outside. So it's a full count, 3-2. Light breeze, not much of a factor at all. Nice crowd on hand for this Friday afternoon action, Angels and Dodgers.
A seasoned veteran on the mound, 20-game winner against somebody who's just getting used to playing baseball in the U.S. right here. What a matchup.
Here's the 3-2 pitch, and he chases a high fastball, struck him out.
Terry, the 20-game winner, won that one.
No doubt about it. So that's a big out. Now 2 are gone. That runner still at third base. Dodgers need a hit to get in D. Gordon, and here is Luis Cruz.
Oh, and Puig saw that fastball up in the zone. His eyes got big, saying, I just have to try to get that baby elevated and get that run in. But there was a little behind that fastball from Weave.
So Jared gets out number 2. We'll see if he can get out of a little bit of first inning trouble here. Cruz the batter, and the pitch. He takes that one high. 1 ball, no strikes.
Tell you what, this is as exaggerated as I've seen in spring training, because positioning, look how much to pull Andrew Romine is against Cruz.
Playing over on the left side of the infield. A lot of room up the middle on the pitch. That one is a pitch that's cut on and missed. 1 ball, 1 strike to count.
Anytime you do that as an infielder, especially when a lot of games have not been played, and even though he has played next to Jimenez, make sure the third baseman knows how far you are. And you as a third baseman understand that you have to call some balls off there. Just because he's that close does not mean you got to let him take everything 2 or 3 steps to your left.
Here's the 1-1 on Cruz. He hits it hard, and it's a fair ball out of the reach of the third baseman Jimenez. That ball's going to roll all the way down in the left field corner. Trout just getting to it and stopping at second base with a 2-out RBI double is Cruz, and the Dodgers score first. They lead it 1-0.
Well, the scouting was right. Definitely a pull hitter. He is Cruz, and once again he hurts the Angels like he did yesterday with 2 outs in the first inning. He had a home run yesterday against Jerome Williams. And Cruz continues to impress the many eyes and maybe don't believe he could be that guy that can carry over into this season.
He's had 3 hits so far this spring for the Dodgers. Couple of homers and now another extra base hit, a double. Jeremy Moore, former Angel farmhand, the batter. He takes it high. He's a left-handed batter. It's 1 ball, no strikes.
And keep in mind, Weaver is on a pitch count. Try to keep him between 30 and 40. He is at 18 pitches right now.
He works with 2 outs, a runner at second, and the 1-0. Moore tips it foul right by the plate. 1 ball and 1 strike to count on Jeremy Moore. Moore, in his last season, seeing action in 2011, had a solid year for AAA Salt Lake when he was in the Angels organization. He hit just under 300 that year and got a September call-up to the Angels. There's a pitch that he tips into the mitt of high and net. It's 1 ball, 2 strikes. And then Jeremy Moore didn't play at all last season because of a hip problem that forced him to undergo surgery.
Just happy to have that uniform on again. Very talented player.
He was a minor league free agent at the end of the year and has signed with the Dodgers now. The pitch, he takes that one outside. 2-2 the count.
So there's something we haven't seen on this mound yet. If you look from here where we're at, the landing spot by Jared Weaver. We always talk about how much he throws across his body. Look at this compared to landing in this direction as most pitchers do. That's what makes him so tough against righties in deception.
2-2 pitch. That's outside, a little bit high, so it's a full count. The home plate umpire is a rookie umpire. Stu Sherwater, a minor league umpire, is getting some assignments here in the Cactus League this spring. Full count. We'll see what happens. 3-2 delivery, and that one is waved at and missed. He got him, struck him out. Chased the pitch on the outside part of the plate. The inning is over. A couple of strikeouts for Weaver, but the Dodgers get a first inning run. They had 2 hits, no errors, and they leave 1 on. Half inning in the books here in Tempe. Dodgers 1, Angels coming to bat on the Angels Baseball Network and Fox Sports West. This copyrighted broadcast presented by Authority of Angels Baseball may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. The accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Angels Baseball. So Mike Trout gets ready to dig in against the South Korean. And the first pitch from Ryu. That one is a called strike on the outside corner. 0-1 the count on Trout. He's had 4 at-bats so far this spring with a couple of hits. He's driven in a run. The AL Rookie of the Year takes that one high. 1 ball, 1 strike the count. Hyun-Jin Ryu, 6'2", 230 pounds. He's 25 years old. He'll have a birthday later on this month. And the next pitch, checking the swing, is Trout. He fouls that one back against the lefty.
That looked like a swing or semi-swing or intended swing and somebody you haven't seen before. He's got a quick arm. And one thing they've been working on with Ryu is obviously not showing the ball so early. I got a chance to watch him pitch in the World Baseball Classic, and certainly a guy that came around with his arm way more.
There's a pitch that he misses with for ball 2, 2-2.
If you look at him, when he separates his hands, they're trying to keep him way more compact.
Ryu is ready. The 2-2 on Trout. That is outside. It misses. Ryu will throw a fastball, top out around 93, slider, curve, and changeup. He has a very good changeup. He was a big strikeout pitcher in Korea, in the Korea Baseball Organization. He had a career-high 210 strikeouts last year. And on the 3-2, he misses high to Mike Trout, who's aboard with a leadoff walk.
I also recall that he does have a walk in his game.
So here's Peter Borges. Ryu helped South Korea win the Olympic gold medal in 2008. Here's Peter Borges batting. 3 for 8 so far this spring. He's hitting out of the 2-hole today. Trout not running, and the pitch, and off speed and on the outside corner for a called strike. 0-1.
Well, quickly the Angels get to see Ryu from the stretch, and what Mike Trout is seeing from his point of view is somebody with his leg spread as much as Ryu does, has the ability to go quick step on you and slide step.
Here's the next pitch, and that one is a pitch that is outside. 1 ball, 1 strike to count. Around the infield for the Dodgers, Uribe is playing first. Schumacher is the second baseman. Cruz at third, and D. Gordon is the shortstop. Here's the next pitch, and that's a slow one on the outside corner. That's a called strike. Outfield.
Pretty good pitch right there. Slow curveball.
Dodgers have Gwynn in left. Moore is the center fielder. Puig is in right. Fedorovich is the catcher. Castillo the DH, and Ryu on the hill, and he missed with that one. Close pitch. 2-2 the count.
This is the third game that Mike Trout plays, and he's been on base every single game, and this is the best lead I have seen Mike Trout take at first base. So the fearful legs and how far you are from the bag is getting there.
Not going to pitch. Line foul on the right side. So the count holding. It's 2 balls, 2 strikes.
So we saw that excuse me swing by Trout. Now you see the swinging late on that inside fastball by Borges. Indication of life late added to a cut fastball that Ryu throws.
Here's the next pitch, and that is on the outside corner, and taking it for a called third strike is Peter Borges.
There's quite a few Ks for Borges the last 2 games against the Dodger pitching.
He's had some trouble making contact here back-to-back games against the Dodgers. Josh Hamilton will be the batter. Gets a nice round of applause as he gets ready to bat. He's only had 3 at-bats so far this spring. Still looking for his first hit. And they have the shift on with 3 infielders on the right side. Here's the pitch on Hamilton, and he takes that one for a called strike. Pitch nipped the outside corner.
Well, Terry, habits are habits, no matter what. This is game 8 for the Angels, and here we go. The shift is on.
0-1. Hamilton jammed. He fouls that one back to the screen, so it's no balls and 2 strikes.
Josh Hamilton with a loose grip on that bat. And I would say the most explosive hands from the left side from any hitter in baseball. Quickest hands.
Toss over to first base. Trout back to the bag safely.
So from the right side, I have to give it to Jose Bautista. Explosive hands with power.
2 strikes to count. Lefty-lefty matchup. That's lifted foul back on the left side, backing out of play. Ryu in his first outing. That was a ball game that he pitched Sunday against the White Sox, and he pitched in relief, had a scoreless inning of relief. This is his first start for the Dodgers here in the Cactus League. Next pitch on Hamilton, that's outside. 1-2 the count. Josh Hamilton DHing. Mark Trumbo waits on deck. He's the cleanup man. He's playing first base for the Angels today. Ryu's delivery, and he came inside on Hamilton, and he gets a piece of it, fouling it off over near the batter waiting on deck, Mark Trumbo.
Pitch right away after he released that pitch, it was like, oh no. It was a hanging breaking ball, but it was not hanging out over the plate. It stayed in, running in enough for Hamilton to recognize and just fight it off.
Ryu is ready, and the next pitch. That one is low. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Ryu pitched for 7 years in the Korea Baseball Organization, and his record there was 98-52 with a 2.80 ERA. He was a 7-time All-Star. Last year, though, his 1-loss record was just 9-9, but he racked up a career best 210 strikeouts. And he's now pitching in the States for the first time. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Checking the swing is Hamilton, and they say on the appeal that he was holding, so it's a full count. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
Sir, that's a great veteran move by Josh Hamilton. And a lot of hitters with experience will say, hey, just when you start your swing, stop it and just keep the angle exactly where you stopped. So the umpire has no other ideas as to you went far or not. But good job by Hamilton there, freezing his own swing.
So we'll see what happens on the payoff. Ryu looking in for the sign. Here's the pitch. There goes Trout. There's a high drive. It's absolutely clobbered into right center field, out by the scoreboard, and that ball is out of here. On a 3-2 pitch, Josh Hamilton's first hit as an Angel here in the Cactus League is a 2-run homer, and the Angels have a 2-1 lead.
I'll tell you, it doesn't matter if you have seen a pitcher or not. It's the first time Hamilton sees Ryu. But what Hamilton did is he had a very good at-bat all the way around. He saw a lot of pitches. He forced him into the zone. To me, the key pitch, Terry, continues to be that hanging breaking ball that he fouled off on the inner half, because later on with the same breaking ball as a strike, you saw what happened.
So here's Trumbo, and he takes the first pitch for a strike, 0-1.
Pitch recognition so important. I mean, you take something off of anything, your eyes are trained to react.
Here's the pitch on Trumbo. That's low. That home run by Hamilton, only the 3rd the Angels have hit so far here in Arizona in 8 games. And boy, that was kind of a majestic home run.
Were those quick hands or what?
Yeah. One ball, 1 strike. Here's the next pitch. Bounced on the left side, stopped by the shortstop, and the throw by Gordon will easily get Trumbo, and that's the 2nd out. 2 are gone. Chris Iannetta will be the next batter.
Well, it could be spring training, it could be whatever, but you know, one thing I like is how loose Josh Hamilton is throughout the workouts and getting to know his new ball club and joking around with his teammates in the backfields. I mean, this started with the first day of practice. He's played against a lot of these guys, you know, in the division, but it's good to see how loose he has brought that attitude here into the Angels.
So here is Iannetta set to face Ryu, and his pitch right in there for a called strike. Iannetta's had a couple of hits so far this spring, and 8 times up. He looks at another one, and that's in there on the outside corner, so he's down quickly, 0-2. A walk and a 2-run homer for the Angels here in the bottom of the 1st inning to take a 2-1 lead. Here's the 0-2 on Chris Iannetta, and that one framed by the catcher Fedorovich, but it's a little bit outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Luis Rodriguez would bat next, and the 1-2 delivery way outside. That one got away from Ryu.
Wow, I mean, he's having trouble with that pitch right there once again. The curveball not coming out of the correct slot.
Here's the 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He got him on a breaking ball there, struck him out, and that will end the inning. So in the inning, the Angels come up with a pair thanks to the Josh Hamilton home run. That was the only hit or walk in the inning. No errors and nobody left. After 1, Angels up on the Dodgers 2-1 on the Angels Baseball Network and Fox Sports West. Don't forget the 20-game flex plan is a great way to see Angels baseball. Select the 20 games you want to see from over 70 home games and receive tickets to Fan Appreciation Day for free. Buy your flex plan today at angels.com/mini-plans or call 888-796-HALO. So the Angels up 2-1 as Uribe gets set to face Jared Weaver. And here's the first pitch from the Angel All-Star, and that one is a called strike on the outside corner. Uribe 1 for 8 this spring. A player whose career has certainly been on the decline, and the pitch, and he takes that one outside. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Trying to find a way to make him more useful by playing him at first base. It has not been easy for Uribe wearing this Dodger uniform, or for the Dodgers to watch him wear the uniform.
Here's the next pitch, and he cuts at that one and pops it up on the first base side. Trumbo is chasing, still chasing, but he's going to run out of room, just a couple rows out of his reach. Mentioned Uribe playing a little bit of first base. The Dodger everyday first baseman will be Adrian Gonzalez. And you look across the board, the Dodgers have a solid lineup. A lot of good players. Let's see how their 2013 season goes.
Bad news today for them is Carl Crawford. Again, issues with that throwing elbow.
Here's the next pitch on Uribe. That's low and outside.
Crawford he's going to be pushed back again, held back, I should say.
Carl Crawford has had trouble staying healthy the last few years. Only 31 games he appeared in all last season. Here's the pitch. It's popped in the air on the left side of the infield. Romine on the infield dirt. The Angels shortstop puts it away. Uribe an easy out. 1 gone here in the second. And Fedorovich, the catcher, will be the next batter. Angels have some action in the bullpen. They have a left-hander warming up, and that is number 84, Buddy Boschers, who's scheduled to see some action here today.
Yeah, nothing wrong with Weaver, just the amount of pitches thrown in that first inning are getting to him. He's approaching 30 pitches here.
Here's the first one on Fedorovich, and he takes that one for a called strike. Mentioning relievers, Kevin Jepson is slated to make his first appearance this spring. Tomorrow, it sounds like we're going to see Ernesto Frieri pitch for the first time this spring. And C.J. Wilson will get the start for the Angels tomorrow. That ball game tomorrow will be against Milwaukee. The Angels will be in Maryvale for that one. Here's the next pitch. That one is low and outside.
Chance to visit with Ron Renicky, our good friend. They have a lot of questions in their starting rotation, the Brewers.
They have a lot of players that are slated to be leaving their camp as well.
Something like 15 players?
Right, that are going to be participating for various teams in the World Baseball Classic. Next pitch fouled off on the right side, backing out of play.
The migration will start soon as teams will be opening their own camps for the WBC, and the tournament itself starts in Asia here in a few hours.
Speaking about the Angels taking on Milwaukee, the Angels will play Milwaukee in the regular season this year, interleague action. And that'll be a weekend series that will be in late August and turn into September 30th, 31st of August, and then September 1st. All those games at Miller Park in Milwaukee.
And no snow this time.
Right.
And we'll see the Brewers, not the Indians.
Here's the next pitch. Skied on the left side of the infield. A few feet back on the outfield grass is Romine battling that bright sunshine. He's there to put it away, and that's the second out. Another pop out to the shortstop. 2 easy outs here in the second.
Hey, Terry, we talk so much about PFP in spring training and all the infield work that goes out there, but the pop-ups are an issue here in spring training. There's a day dedicated to that, so I'm glad to see Andrew Romine in that triangle. Shortstop priority. You call it early if you see it. Everybody gets out of the way if you're camping, and make the play. Chris Iannetta was telling me earlier in camp he was horrible this year in pop-ups.
First pitch, and that one on Tony Gwynn Jr., a left-handed batter, in there for a called strike.
It's a bit challenging to have a machine throw a ball up there and work on that specifically, knowing that it's coming whether you want it or not, and you have to call them off. And with the wind, and the sun, and lack of clouds around here, it's tough.
Weaver with a breaking ball right there, taken by Gwynn for a called strike.
Ever have trouble with the pop-ups, Terry? You?
Oh. I have no chance on a pop-up.
No. Did you ever have trouble with a pop-up?
Tons of trouble. I had no chance. That's what I'm saying.
We all did.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
0-2 is the count on Gwynn.
See, guys like Gooby, pitchers, all they do is point.
That's right. And let somebody else take control.
By the way, Gooby's going to join us later on for the postgame here on Fox Sports West. Art Gubaza. Loved spring training.
Yeah, good to see Gooby back in the Valley for this weekend. Here's another 2-strike delivery on Gwynn. That's low and inside.
Peter Borges in center field pretty much telling D. Gordon, go ahead, I dare you. Hit it over my head. Problem is, if he hits it over his head, a very good chance it's at least a triple, maybe even an inside the park home run.
Here's the next pitch, and that one is low. So Tony Gwynn Jr. Battling with 2 strikes here.
And so Gordon, Gwynn, so hit it over my head. Here we go. Run.
And the next pitch, fouled off on the left side. Gwynn's kind of has an uphill go as far as making the Dodgers opening day roster.
Yeah, it was tough to see how he declined so fast there. He was part of the reason why they had such a good record at the beginning of the season. Yeah. He and other guys that contributed. But boy, you're not kidding.
They took him off their 40-man roster. He fouls another one off on the left side, backing out of play, and that's back to the seats. He's having a prolonged at bat here against Weaver. He's making Jared really work, fouling 2-strike pitches off. If Weaver gets through this second inning, that figures to be it for him today. It's 2-1 Angels. We're in the second inning. Each team getting some runs on the board in the first. And again, the 2-strike pitch. Lifted in the air into right center field, but hanging up for Scott Cousins. He's under waiting, and a medium right center puts it away. Weaver with 3 balls hit in the air in the inning, and he sets them down easily. 1-2-3. We're headed to the bottom of the second. Angels up here in Tempe 2-1 on the Angels Baseball Network and Fox Sports West. Luis Rodriguez at the plate for the Angels as Ryu is ready to face him here. And now Rodriguez backs out of the box, asks for time. Everyone is set, and here comes the pitch. Lifted foul on the right side. That's going to get back and out of play. Angels have 2 runs on 1 hit. The Dodgers 1 run on 2 hits. We're in the bottom of the 2nd here in Tempe. This meeting, the second part of back-to-back games for these 2 teams against each other, and that will conclude their matchups against each other here in Arizona this spring, as that one is lined just foul on the left side.
So it'll be time for the preseason free-win series.
The 2 teams will get that going. Angels and Dodgers scoring off against each other in exhibition play back in Southern California as well. The next pitch popped in the air in a shallow left field. A late start for the left fielder Tony Gwynn Jr. and he's unable to get to it. That ball's going to drop in between him and the shortstop D. Gordon. It's a blue pit for Luis Rodriguez.
Fight it off however you can. Another pitch that Ryu places well inside. So every time he's thrown the ball in the inner third, has a natural cut, and because of his short arm action, gets a lot of life. We saw it with Borges, we saw it with Trout, now we see it with Rodriguez, but Rodriguez strong enough to fight it off and get the base hit.
So here's Luis Jimenez, who's been lagging some playing time for the Angels here in the early going of the Cactus League. He's had 11 at-bats with a couple of hits. The third baseman, he takes that one for a ball.
You're noticing, not that we expect Terry anybody to be in midseason form, but he has not repeated inside consecutively.
Here's the 1-0 pitch. That's hit hard down the left field side, but a foul ball. It lands down around the Dodgers open air bullpen down in that left field corner, where they do have a right-hander warming up right now.
So put a quick hands there by Luis Jimenez.
One ball, 1 strike to count.
I'm guessing off speed here.
There's a toss over to first base. Rodriguez gets back in plenty of time.
You see what Fedorovich forces Ryu to repeat inside, but if I'm a hitter, just based on the pattern he's had so far, I'm going to sit off speed.
Here's the next delivery, and that's a breaking ball that's popped into right field. It's going to fall in for a base hit. Rodriguez is headed for third, and he better hurry. He is out. Puig, the right fielder, his throw came all the way in, and one-hop throw guns down Rodriguez, trying to go first to third on that Jimenez single, so that's the first out.
Oh, Puig showing exactly why they give him the money they give him. A talented player, many tools, and with the size and the ability to get behind the baseball and throw, there's one of those tools they talked about, his arm.
So Romine will be the batter, left-handed hitter. Angels have had a couple of hits in the inning, but 1 out. Here's the pitch on Romine, his first time batting today, and he fouls that one back to the screen.
And for Jimenez at first base, a beautiful piece of hitting. Took a breaking ball up in the zone and hit it hard the other way.
Ryu's pitch, and that one is in there for a called strike. The Dodgers have a lot of money invested in Ryu. They had to pay a posting fee to his team in South Korea, the Hanwha Eagles, and that was nearly $28 million just to have the right to negotiate with them, and then they signed him to a 6-year, $36 million deal, so they have nearly $64 million invested in him. Here's the pitch. That one misses low. There has never been a player from Korea who has gone right from the Korean baseball organization right to the big leagues. There have been players from that league play in the majors, but not go directly from South Korea to the majors. They've had stops in the minors in the past. He's trying to be the first to ever do that from his country. And the Dodgers is certainly banking that he will be the first one to do it.
For that type of money, of course.
Here's the next pitch. That's high.
Even though he can be sent down to the minors with his consent, though. So it's not like he's guaranteed to be in that rotation, but you can look for every way for that to happen. Well, I mean, just the attraction he is in that community when he pitches at Dodger Stadium.
Here's the next delivery. That's a little poke into center field, but it'll fall in for a base hit. So the Angels have had 3 straight hits in the inning. Ryu has faced 8 batters so far in this game, and 5 of the 8 have reached base safely.
And once again, Andrew Romine against a lefty goes up the middle. Same thing he did a couple of days back against Barry Zito of the Giants. Base hit up the middle. And he continues to play well, show his range at shortstop, show his arm, show his speed on the bases, and the fact that he could be a good at-bat for Mike Stolsha.
So the hitter now, another left-handed batter for the Angels, Scott Cousins. He's had 7 at-bats this spring with 1 hit. Cousins signed by the Angels as a free agent during the offseason. He's on the Angels' 40-man roster, and he swings at the first pitch and fouls it back behind the plate. Mike Trout waiting on deck.
And Cousins will forever be known as the guy that collided with Buster Posey in that horrific home plate collision.
And somewhat ironic that he is, speaking of Cousins, San Francisco native.
How about that?
Yeah. Here's the pitch. That one is up and in. Here's the next pitch, and Cousins was fooled on a pitch that was very high. He went after it for a strike, so a couple strikes on him.
Terry, I noticed Mike Trout is on deck, and he actually went over to hitting coach Jim Eppert. He was motioning with his hands whether the pitch he had seen previously was a slider or a curveball. Motioning is, what kind of spin did Eppert see?
Yeah.
Communication going on there in the on-deck circle.
Here's the next pitch on Cousins, and he takes that one for a called third strike on the outside corner. Struck him out looking. So that's the second out. Angels have had an out at third base in this inning. And now with 2 gone and runners at first and second, the batter will be Mike Trout. At strikeout number 3 for Ryu. Trout has a walk, and he's scored a run. He came in on the Josh Hamilton first inning home run. The Angels have a 2-1 lead. We're in the bottom of the second here in Tempe.
Trout, now your prototypical leadoff man, good RBI man for the Angels last year, too.
Pitch on Mike, thought about chasing it, and lays off it. It's in there for a strike. Trout very rarely swings at the first pitch. And
he's not in a hurry up there, That's what makes him so good and such a tough out.
Mike asking for time as he digs back in the batter's box. Trout a year ago swinging at the first pitch only 8% of the time. Here's the next delivery. He lifts that one in the air in the right field, but it's right near Puig. He makes the catch, the right fielder. That'll end the inning. So Ryu pitches out of trouble here in the second. No runs. The Angels had 3 hits. No errors and leave a pair. 2 in the books. The third is next. 2-1 Angels on the Angels Baseball Network and Fox Sports West. Fans, Angels baseball is back. Individual game tickets for the 2013 season are on sale now. Make your plans to take part in Big Bang Fridays, post-game concerts, promotional nights, and great opponents like the Yankees and Dodgers. Purchase your tickets today at Angels.com, the Angels Stadium ticket office, or call 714-663-9000. So the new pitcher for the Angels is Kevin Jepsen. And this will be his first appearance this spring. Jared Weaver ended up going the first 2 innings. Retired the final 4 in a row. He allowed 2 hits, a run. It was earned in Walkeny, and he struck out 2. So Jepsen is set to go. And here's the first pitch on Castillo. He fouls it back to the screen. The count, 2 balls and 1 strike. Kevin Jepsen a year ago, 49 appearances for the Angels, had a 3-2 record, 3.02 ERA. He really relied on his fastball last year for the Angels. He'll throw a cutter as well, a curve, and he'll sink that fastball. Here's the next pitch, fouled back to the screen again. It drops right by D. Gordon waiting on deck. Let's pause for station identification on the Angels Baseball Network and on Fox Sports West. Here's the 2-strike pitch, and it's a little poke into shallow left center. It'll fall in for a base hit, making a big turn and stopping at first base with that opposite field single is Wilkin Castillo, and the batter will be D. Gordon.
Yeah, no matter how you look at it, Kevin Jepsen will be a big part of the Angels bullpen. He provides depth, experience, Terry. We know Kevin Jepsen has struggled coming out of the gate throughout his career. And this is a time in which he really has to go out there and be strong from the beginning. A lot of innings are needed, obviously, early in the season from guys out of the bullpen when starters are limited.
Here's the pitch. Gordon showed signs of bunting and lays off a fastball high. It's 1 ball, no strikes. Mentioned Jepsen last year, 49 games with the Angels. He also appeared in 23 games at AAA Salt Lake last year.
And he said that was a good lesson for him. Tough to swallow, but he said, I needed to go out there with a mission to get back to the big leagues by being better.
There's a pitch that's high and a snap throw to first base. Castillo goes back to the bag. And Jepsen looking to become more consistent. He's had some very bright flashes in the past with the Angels. And then there have been times where he just hasn't pitched that well and was sent back to the minors. He's looking to stay up here for good now. The pitch that's fouled back, and Jepsen coming right in there on D. Gordon.
He does attribute some of the problems in the past to his bulky knee, right knee. Finally had it cleaned up, and now he can push off a little bit better. And go straight, be consistent, keep that balance, and more than anything, just to finish on his pitches. But he is a high fastball type pitcher, and at times he gets a little too flat up in the zone.
There goes the runner. The next pitch on Gordon. It's high. The throw to second base. Not in time. A 1-hop throw handled by Romine. And just a little bit late. So Castillo has a stolen base. And that's the 3rd base stolen by the Dodgers today.
And Angels catchers have been working a lot on the feet right now. A lot of guys obviously have some good days and bad days with their arms. All the throwing that happens here in spring training. But still haven't seen that consistency from any of them yet in throwing to the bases.
That pitch on Gordon is in there for a called strike. Castillo, who just got the stolen base, has pretty good speed for a catcher. He's not catching today. He's DHing, but his regular position is behind the plate. Jepsen's next pitch. Gordon fouls it off, so he's battling with 2 strikes. If you're just tuning in or rejoining us, we're in the top of the 3rd in Tempe. The Angels are up 2-1. Angels 2 runs coming on a Josh Hamilton first inning home run. That was Hamilton's first hit this spring, and it left the ballpark out in right center out by the scoreboard.
Got the first one out of the way with the Angels uniform.
Here's the next delivery, and that's high, and it's ball 4. So Gordon is aboard. The first two have reached base safely here to start off the third inning for the Dodgers, and Skip Schumacher will be the batter, and we'll see how the Dodgers play it. We could see Schumacher looking to punt those runners up the base.
The relievers obviously don't have the long leash that the starters have putting their feet wet here in camp. So there's already action in the Angels bullpen. Barry Enright is warming up as Jepson reaches 10 pitches already.
Jimenez, the Angels third baseman, thinking a bunt is on. He's playing in. Trumbo ready to charge in from first base. Here's the pitch. No sign of a bunt. Ground ball down the third base side. Good stop by Jimenez. Goes to the bag at third. Fires to first. A double play. Boy, that was nicely done by Luis Jimenez, as he had to be cat quick over there at third base. He was, and turns it into a twin killing.
Outstanding job. Great reaction, Terry. You had just mentioned how he was looking for the bunt. But what he does so well is he comes in, but he stays low to the ground. Make sure at least he has a solid foundation, ready for the ground ball, reading the bat, and certainly you got to be a good athlete to make that type of play.
So Jepson gets 2 outs with 1 pitch right there. And now Puig, the right fielder, will bat. He was a strikeout victim against Jared Weaver back in the top of the first. Here's the pitch on Puig, and he fouls that one back to the screen. And it's no balls and 1 strike. When the Angels bat in the bottom of the third, Borges, Hamilton, and Trumbo. And we'll see what the Dodgers do. Looks like they'll be bringing in a right-hander to take over for Ryu. Jepson is set. Here's the next pitch, and that one is a pitch that is missed. The ball got away from Iannetta and rolls back to the backstop. So moving on to third base on it will be D. Gordon.
Well, either Iannetta didn't follow the ball all the way into his glove, or there was a little extra movement as Iannetta reaches on a ball that really should have been a pass ball.
He scored a wild pitch. So a runner at third, tying run. 2 outs. The pitch lifted in the air into left field. That ball's hit in the gap in left field, and it's going to take a bounce, and that one is going to skip off the wall. Puig has an RBI double, and the Dodgers have tied up the game at 2. So that one hit in between Trout and Borges. Puig putting some pretty good wood on that one to drive in D. Gordon to tie up the ballgame.
Yesterday we were talking about Puig and how he was not able, Terry, to get extension, and he was tied up. Maybe putting a little more pressure on himself than he needed, but he got extension this time, and they're going to be working on him a lot on that, making sure he's out there trusting that swing and letting those hands do the work for him.
So a runner at second. Here's Cruz, who has doubled in a run today. And the pitch, that one is low and outside. Cruz batting for the second time. The Dodgers third baseman awaits the next pitch from Jepson. Here it comes. That's a pitch on the outside corner for a called strike. It was a high strike.
This could be Jepson's last batter.
Jeremy Moore would be up next, left-handed hitter. Kevin is ready. Here's the pitch. Low. Good block on that one by Iannetta. The Dodgers last season finished up 10 games over 500. They finished in second place in the National League West. They've posted winning records in 6 of their last 7 years. Been to the playoffs 2 of the last 5 years. Here's the pitch. Lifted in the air in the left field. Trout has a long run chasing after this one, and the ball's over his head, and it smacks off the wall. Another run will score, as Cruz has his second straight RBI double in this ball game, and it's a 3-2 Dodgers lead.
Well, Luis Cruz can jump at a high fastball. He showed it yesterday. He showed it again today. A couple of doubles. Both have been pulled, and seems like that timing is exactly where he wants it. Cruz capitalizing on the opportunity that he earned as a regular last year. He spent all offseason working out with Adrian Gonzalez, a student of the game, a student of the swings, and somebody to talk to Cruz a lot about conditioning during the offseason. So far paying off.
So Jepson has struggled here in his first outing this spring. Here's Jeremy Moore batting, and he goes after the first pitch and skies it in the air into left center field. Peter Borges in medium left center is under. He'll put it away, and that will end the inning. But the Dodgers come up with a pair to take the lead. 2 runs. They did it with 3 hits, also a walk. There were no errors, and they leave 1 runner on base. The bottom of the third coming up in Tempe. It's 3-2 Dodgers on the Angels Baseball Network and Fox Sports West. Angels getting set to bat as we go to the bottom of the third. Halos trail the Dodgers 3-2. New pitcher for the Dodgers, and he's a former Angel. Matt Palmer will take over. He was in 3 games last year for the Padres. Also pitched in AAA last year. First pitch and first ball swinging is Peter Borges. He pops it up foul behind the plate. It's playable, and just outside of the batter's circle, making the catch in foul ground is the catcher Fedorovich. So Borges retired on 1 pitch. Foul out to the catcher. Josh Hamilton will be the batter.
I get a sense that Borges did not want to get to 2 strikes again.
So here's Hamilton, who hit a blast to right center his first time up for a home run. Hyun-Jin Ryu, the starter for the Dodgers, where 2 innings gave up 4 hits, 2 runs earned, walked 1, struck out 3, and gave up the home run to Hamilton, who just swings and misses the first pitch here from Palmer.
And that's what Hamilton does. He loves swinging at the first pitch.
And the next pitch, that one is a ball to count 1-1.
In fact, Hamilton hit over 400 last year swinging at the first pitch, and hit 9 home runs swinging at the first pitch. So Terry, why change? Yes, and it drove some people crazy sometimes. Took a lot of criticism from that.
In his major league career, Josh Hamilton has hit 43 home runs on the first pitch of an at-bat. And you mentioned a career .415 hitter chasing the first pitch. So that's why he swings at it a lot, because he's had a lot of success swinging at the first pitch of at-bats, and he takes that one for a called strike.
Josh Hamilton has quite a crowd in the Angels dugout. Everybody paying close attention to this at-bat.
Here's the next pitch, the 2-strike delivery that's fouled off. Mentioned Matt Palmer, a former Angel, and there are a lot of them in the Dodgers camp. Kevin Gregg is in their camp as well.
What's going on there, Terry?
Alfredo Amezaga, Dallas McPherson, Jeremy Moore is in their lineup. Zach Greinke is pitching for the Dodgers in their other game today. So, yeah. And, of course, last year they had Juan Rivera. They had Adam Kennedy.
Bobby Abreu.
Yeah.
Bobby Abreu is still looking for a job.
There's a pitch that Hamilton fouls off on the left side, out of play.
This is Vlad Guerrero looking for a job, but Vladdy just did not look very good in winter ball this year. So it's going to be a tough road to get back for Vlad Guerrero. Manny Ramirez said he might play in Taiwan.
Saw that. Next pitch on Hamilton, and he beats the shift there as he hits a low liner through the left side of the infield. It rolls out to the left fielder, Tony Gwynn. Josh Hamilton is 2 for 2 today. Angels have a 1-out base runner for Mark Trumbo.
That's what makes Hamilton who he is. That's where he gets the big money. Home run, and then a very good at bat by beating the shift, going the other way, and keeping that hit right in sync with the pitch. A well-rounded game for the Angels slugger here today. And for the many fans that made the trip from Southern California, Terry, what a nice welcome, huh?
Yeah. So here's Trumbo. He's the go-ahead run at the plate. Palmer's toss over to first base, and getting back in time is Josh Hamilton.
I believe Paul Calhoun is now running.
All right, Hamilton has left, so Calhoun taking over for him. Here's the pitch, and that one is a called strike on the outside corner. Mark Trumbo bounced one to the shortstop his first time up. Palmer taking too much time. Trumbo backs out of the box. Matt Palmer pitched for the Angels in the 2009, 2010, and 2011 seasons. Here's his pitch. Fouled off by Trumbo. It's going to make its way back to the seats on the right side, out of play.
Terry, no secret to you or to me and to many of the fans listening, he became a fan favorite immediately. Matt Palmer came in and started winning games left and right.
Yeah, he was a good luck charm, really, when he joined the Angels. Toss again over to first, and it's a bad throw. It gets by the first baseman, Uribe. Calhoun is not going to stop at second. He's headed for third, and he will get there in plenty of time as that ball ended up ricocheting and rolling in foul ground up the right field line. So an error on the throw. And Calhoun now in scoring position. He represents the tying run at third base with only 1 out.
Not much Uribe could do about that one, as Palmer was rushed into that throw and just gripped the baseball the wrong way. Threw a slider out there to first base.
So Trumbo with a chance to tie up the ball game. We'll see if he can do it here. It's 3-2 Dodgers. We're in the bottom of the third inning. Palmer's pitch. Trumbo with a smash to the first baseman. Uribe fires to the plate. Calhoun's now caught in a rundown between third and home. Starts breaking back for the plate, and applying the tag on him is Fedorovich. The Angels had the contact play on that one. The only good thing that happened there, Trumbo, the batter, ended up taking second base because of the time it took them to run down Calhoun. So the Angels still have a runner in scoring position, but 2 outs, and the batter now will be Iannetta.
Ball was hit hard, and there was some hesitation by Calhoun at third base, and that might have been what cost them the run, because Uribe, knowing the Angels where he was playing, saw the one hopper, and Uribe was more ready to go to the bag than anything else, and then somebody yelled, "Hey, home plate." So a good communication play there. And obviously, as he mentioned, Mark Trumbo finishing off the play by standing at second base.
So here's Iannetta taking a breaking ball in there for a called strike. play that got Calhoun first baseman to catcher to third baseman back to the catcher. 3-2, 5-2 the scoring on it. Here's the next one on Iannetta. He swings and fouls it off on the right side, backing out of play. Matt Palmer, we talked about the fact that his first year with the Angels, certainly a good luck charm, and he was 11-2 with the Angels in that 2009 season. He was a starter and a reliever.
It seems like every time he took the mound, the Angels scored 11 runs.
Yep. It's tough to lose when you're getting offensive support like that, and he didn't lose many that year. Here's a bouncer on the third base side. It's off the chest of Cruz. Picks the ball up, throws to first, not in time. Close play at first base, so the Angels inning will continue with 2 outs, and runners will be at the corners for Luis Rodriguez.
Great hustle there by Iannetta. Ball hit very hard. Cruz did what he could to keep the ball in front of him and recovered nicely, and actually made that play at first base closer than anybody thought it was going to be. But Iannetta, a lot of credit to him, the way he took off from the box.
So the second error in the inning against the Dodgers, but the Angels have still yet to capitalize. And we'll see what Rodriguez, the switch hitter, can do. A bat from the left side against Matt Palmer. Runners at first and third. The Angels had 3 hits last inning, failed to score. They have runners at the corners here with a couple outs, trying to get some runs on the board. Rodriguez backed out of the box, time call. Palmer is ready, and here's his pitch. He misses inside with that one. Matt Palmer lives here in the Valley in Gilbert, which is a Phoenix suburb.
We had a chance to drive to Gilbert recently.
We did. We dined in that town a couple nights ago. And boy, did we ever have a good meal at Joe's Farm and Grill.
Always.
Wow.
That was the Valley
meal.
of the Sun.
Yep.
Some great places to get a bite.
Matt Palmer is set. He's a slow worker with people on base, and the pitch. That's right in there for a called strike. I'd like to see the home plate umpire, Stu Sherwater, indicate the count here, because on the scoreboard today it is not working, the part that lets you know the count on the batter, even the number of outs. Pitch on its way. Checking the swing on that one is Rodriguez, so that's the second strike on him.
Yeah, even the scoreboard needs a little spring training action to get ready.
Yep.
See that happen from time to time in different ballparks.
So 2 strikes here on Rodriguez, trying to get that runner in from third base. That's Mark Trumbo. Also on at first base, Iannetta. 2 outs. Palmer is ready. His 2-strike pitch. That's lined up to center field side. It's going to fall in for a base hit right up the middle. A single off the bat of Rodriguez will tie this ball game up. So the Angels get an unearned run, have a chance to get some more with runners at first and second. Rodriguez has been a pretty solid performer with the bat so far this spring. 5 hits for him and 12 times up.
It's pretty consistent both sides of the plate. Got a single in his first at bat over to the left side, hitting from the right side, and certainly he's making a good case for himself to get more playing time and be considered for a bench spot.
There's a pitch that misses low. We were talking about Matt Palmer, and he was a good luck charm when he was with the Angels in 2009. He made 13 starts that year for the Angels, and in 5 of them, the Angels scored 10 runs or more for him.
I'm telling you.
And they averaged almost 7.5 runs for him every time he started a game that year. Here's the pitch. That's a pop into left center. That's going to fall in for a base hit. It'll give the Angels the lead. An RBI single off the bat of Jimenez. Rings in Iannetta from second. Angels have scored twice in the inning and now are back on top. It's 4-3.
Luis Jimenez has been a run producer throughout his minor league career, and he has gotten a lot of opportunities here in camp so far. And that little fire that I was talking about that was lacking from him, I see it. It's back, and he needs to show it. He's a very talented player. They're trying to make sure that he understands the focus and intensity that it takes to be a big leaguer and transfer all that success that he's had in the minor leagues to the big league level. But certainly the guy can play the game.
So the Angels inning isn't over yet. Andrew Romine will be the next batter. Romine, the seventh batter up in the inning. Well, Matt Palmer might have been lucky with the Angels in 2009. He's been unlucky so far today. The errors in this inning have prolonged the inning.
Put together that with two very good hustle plays by the Angels. The first one was Trumbull making it to second base on the rundown, and then Chris Iannetta hustling to get the first base on the error by the third baseman Cruz.
Here's Romine bouncing one right up the middle, off the glove of the shortstop Gordon. The ball's through into right center field. Another run will score on that broken bat RBI single. The Angels have a 5-3 lead.
And the Angels all of a sudden, Terry, find themselves playing with a lead here in camp early.
So the inning isn't over yet. 3 runs in this inning, all unearned. Angels have had 3 straight hits here with 2 outs. Had 4 hits in the inning.
Look out for the bottom of that lineup. Rodriguez, number 6 hitter. Jimenez, number 7. Romine, number 8. All are 2 for 2 today.
Here's Cousins batting with runners at the corners. There goes Romine. He is going to steal second base without even a throw. Boy, that was no contest. He got a great jump on Palmer. And the catcher, Fedorovich, just hold on to the baseball. Now a hit could mean 2 more runs.
Matt Palmer has seen things this inning that maybe you don't see when you were out there for 5 or 6 innings. A little bit of everything.
Palmer didn't help his own cause earlier in the inning with a bad pickoff toss. A throwing error. There's a bouncer that's fouled off over on the right side into the Angels dugout. One ball, 1 strike is the count. Here's the pitch. Checking is Cousins. That's low and in. There's no action in that Dodger bullpen, so Matt Palmer knows that he's going to have to find a way to get this final out. And it's taken a lot longer than he would have liked.
He's approaching 30 pitches this inning.
Here's the next one, and that's low and inside, and now it's 3-1 on Cousins. Angels already with 5 runs, 8 hits. We're only in the bottom of the 3rd. Dodgers have 3 runs on 5 hits. Palmer's 3-1 pitch, and it's low, ball 4. So Trout will step up with runners everywhere. The base is loaded. He'll be the 9th batter up in the inning.
It all started with an easy out on 1 pitch. And Borges was retired. And a pop up to the catcher Fedorovich.
Like Trout had an at-bat a couple days ago against the Giants here with the bases loaded, and he ended up getting a bases loaded walk. So he bats with runners everywhere here. The first pitch, low and away. It skips past the catcher. A wild pitch back to the backstop. Everybody will move up the base. A run scores as Jimenez comes in, and now it's 6-3 Angels.
This whole inning has looked like a whole game for Matt Palmer. The errors, the singles, the wild pitch, the stolen base, just a little bit of everything. Not helping his cause, hanging the breaking ball. The Angels offensively doing a great job taking advantage of it.
The catcher, Fedorovich, went back out to have a word with Palmer. He's been imploding here in this inning. He's ready, and here's the pitch. That one on Trout. That one misses low. There is some action now for the Dodgers in their bullpen. Trout today, he's had a walk and a flyout.
Here's where he can look to drive the ball.
Time called. The ball got loose from the bullpen area, rolled down near the Dodgers dugout on the third base side.
In limited action, Trout has looked very sharp. How deep the at-bats have been, and also walking, scoring runs, of course, and also using the other part of the field.
Palmer's 2-0. Checking is Trout, and that's outside ball 3. Peter Borges would be up next.
I'd let him swing here. Why not?
We'll see what happens on the 3-0. Trout takes inside. He draws a walk, and that'll reload the bases. So the 10th batter in the inning will be stepping up. Peter Borges, he led the inning off by chasing the very first pitch of the inning and popping it out to the catcher, Fedorovich. Since then, Palmer hasn't had much success.
There's Mike Trout in that good plate discipline again when men in scoring position.
First pitch on Borges with the bases loaded. That's in there for a strike. Peter so far this afternoon 0 for 2. And the next pitch, he lines one in the gap in right center field. And boy, that's going to be some big time damage. 1 run scores. A second is in. The ball's fumbled out in right center. So Trout scores as well. And Borges ends up at third base. And the Angels have busted this game wide open. It's now 9-3. A triple for Peter Borges. And he drove in all 3 of those runners who were on base.
That was a pretty good deal for the guy that started the whole inning with that pop-up. For a guy that's been scuffling, not seeing the ball well. But also, a lot of credit to Jim Eppert, the Angels hitting coach, and how much communication I've been seeing pretty much all afternoon between Eppert and his players on deck. And one of those guys was Peter Borges. And sometimes it's not about mechanics. It's about your confidence, keeping your head up and going up there, looking for something you can hit.
So a 7-run inning, and Palmer will be lifted. They'll go to the bullpen. We have a break in the action. The Angels still batting in the third, leading 9-3. A pitching change coming up on the Angels Baseball Network and Fox Sports West. new pitcher for the Dodgers is right-hander Sean Tollison. He replaces Palmer, who went 2/3 of an inning. He gave up 5 hits. Right now, 7 runs. They're all unearned. He walked 2, threw a wild pitch, and did not strike out any. So the batter for the Angels is Cole Calhoun. He came in this inning as a pinch runner for Josh Hamilton, and now he's batting in the inning as well, and he takes the pitch for a ball to count 1 ball, no strikes.
You know it's going your way and your team's way when you get to this type of situation.
Yeah. He is batter number 11 in the inning. Carlson pitched for the Dodgers last year, and the next delivery on Calhoun, it's lifted in the air right to the right fielder Puig. He's there under. He'll put it away. Calhoun retired on the liner, but what an inning it was for the Angels. 7 runs in the inning, and the Angels had a lot of hits in the inning as well. 5 hits. There were a couple of walks, a couple of errors, and the Angels leave 1 runner on base. We've completed 3, and we head to the 4th. It's 9-3 Angels on the Angels Baseball Network and Fox Sports West. Fans, now's the perfect time to reserve a suite rental for the upcoming season at the Big A. Suites offer 12 to 36 guests the opportunity to enjoy a game in a private and luxurious atmosphere. Suite rentals also offer all-inclusive food and non-alcoholic beverages. To reserve your suite, just call 888-796-HALO or visit angels.com/suites. So Juan Uribe will lead it off. The Angels have a big lead, 9-3, as we get ready for the 4th inning. And there's a new pitcher in the game for the Halos. Barry Enright replaces Kevin Jepson. Jepson worked an inning, gave up 3 hits, 2 runs earned, walked the batter, didn't strike out any, and had a wild pitch. Enright's first pitch, that's in there. And the count 0-1 on Uribe. Enright is appearing in his 2nd game this spring. He's made a start for the Angels already here in the Cactus League, and in that outing he did not survive the 1st inning. Went 2/3 of an inning, gave up 4 hits and 5 runs, or 3 runs, and they were all earned. He walked the batter in that start.
Well, he needs to go out there and find the good release point, consistency in his delivery, and more than anything, he knows he's not going to get it by you. So for Enright is to stay within his game and get a good feel, especially for his off speed.
2 balls, 1 strike now on Uribe. Next pitch lined into right center. That's going to fall in for a base hit. Borges will play it in on a couple of hops. Uribe has his first hit today. The Dodgers have hit number 6 in the ballgame. And Fedorovich, the catcher, will be the next batter.
Command guys obviously know that as they get a feel for the mound and the conditions of competing here in spring training, you get away from those bullpen sessions and got to really focus more on the down slope and getting the ball down in the zone more and more. Some guys can pitch upstairs. We saw Weaver do it and finishing off a hitter. You obviously can do it, but not everybody.
There's one that's fouled off by Fedorovich on the right side, backing out of play. Big crowd today here in Tempe. You look in the concourse areas here, and fans are packed in there. A lot of fans watching the game out in the lawn area and left and left center.
Oh, a beautiful sight here. Right off the freeway. Fans making the trip down here from Southern California for the weekend.
That one is fouled off on the right side, backing out of play.
You know, we're looking back at the backfields and that path that leads the players to the practice fields, and that was packed with Angels fans.
Yep. This looks to be the biggest crowd so far for the Angels for a home game. And the Angels will also have another home game this weekend. That'll be on Sunday against the Cubs. Here's the pitch. Lifted in the air into shallow right center. Coming in is Calhoun. He's under, and he will make the... Or no, that's Cousins out there. He'll make the grab, and that is out number one.
Quick glimpse out there. You think it is Cole Calhoun, especially since he came into the game to replace Josh Hamilton.
Yep.
As a designated hitter today.
So that's the first out. Tony Gwynn Jr. will be the batter. Infield a double play depth. 9-3 Angels. Fourth inning here in Tempe. 9 runs, 9 hits for the Angels. 3 runs, 6 hits for the Dodgers. The pitch. Called strike at the knees on the inside part of the plate.
Excellent job. You can see the follow through right there by Danry Enright, and just having his eyes focused on that target given by Chris Iannetta.
Enright taking time now, delivers, and that one on Gwynn misses. 1 ball, 1 strike. Mentioned Gwynn struggled last year with the Dodgers, hit .232. They took him off the 40-man roster. His on-base percentage last season was just .276. And there's one that's low. 2-1 to count.
His father, one of the best ever with a bat in his hands. Tony Gwynn.
Hall of Famer. And still coaching San Diego State, their baseball team. 2-1 pitch. That's lined up the middle. That's going to fall in for a base hit. Solid contact off the bat of Tony Gwynn Jr. So a pair of singles in the inning, 1 out. And the batter will be the number 9 hitter, Wilkin Castillo, the designated hitter.
Yeah, Tony Gwynn Sr. is one guy that got to know Steven Strasburg. The pitcher, the kid, the maturing young man that eventually led to dominance in college. And now a superb pitcher for the Washington Nationals, who is free and loose this year. He is no limits. Go get him.
Here's the pitch. That's fouled back behind the plate. So the reins have been taken off of Strasburg. They did not have him available for the postseason last year. And looking back on it, probably hurt the Nationals trying to advance in last year's National League playoffs.
Well, if the closer had done his job, though, it's a different story. I'm sure anybody would have liked to have had Strasburg in his rotation for the playoffs. I think they did the right thing. Rizzo stood with it, had a plan, and he is healthy.
0-1 pitch. That's inside. Snap throw to first. Diving back to the bag goes Gwynn. 1 ball, 1 strike on Wilkin Castillo.
The Nationals team that now features former Angel Dan Herron on their rotation. A new closer in Rafael Soriano. So they should be good for a long time over in D.C.
Here's the next pitch. Lifted in the air into shallow left field. Battling the sun is Trout. He's under. He'll make the grab. That's the second out. Couple of fly ball outs in the inning. 2 gone. Top of the batting order. D. Gordon will be the next hitter.
So the location has improved now with more pitches. He's made 14 pitches. You can see where the left-handed hitters, Enright has gone more to what's been working for him and locating his fastball away. And at him. A veteran presence and leadership behind the plate, very helpful for guys like Barry Enright. So Iannetta putting down those fingers, and you figure, well, indicator, but also make sure you stay within yourself.
First pitch on D. Gordon in there for a called strike. He's been busy here in this game. Their leadoff man has been on base a couple of times. He's scored a couple of runs, stolen a couple of bases. Enright, a very deliberate worker out there on the mound. He takes time between pitches with people on, and he misses with that one low. 1 ball, 1 strike to count. The difference in this game right now, a big 7-run inning for the Angels. And that was last inning in the bottom of the 3rd, and one of those runs against Matt Palmer ended up being unearned runs. The pitch, it's lifted in the air into shallow left field. Going back on it is Romine, coming in is Trout, and he will make the catch. And that will end the inning. So another fly ball out, and that's it for the Dodgers here in the 4th. In the inning, no runs. They had a pair of hits, no errors. They leave a couple on. Bottom of the 4th coming up. Angels have a 9-3 lead on the Angels Baseball Network and Fox Sports West. Trumbo, the first batter up for the Angels, bottom of the 4th. Angels up 9-3. Sean Tollison, who got the final out last inning, is in here to work his first full inning in this game. And the first pitch on the outside corner, that's a called strike. Trumbo is 0 for 2 with a run scored. He'll be fouled by Iannetta and then Luis Rodriguez. Here's the pitch. That one is outside. It misses. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Brock has looked good so far this spring, not necessarily in the results, but in how well he's hit the ball. He's made solid contact, including that last time when he hit the ball hard, a one-hopper to the first baseman Uribe.
Here's the next pitch on Trumbo, and that's outside, ball 2.
You can count on the power for Mark Trumbo, and as ugly as last season got at times, his confidence wavered some. He came back and finished pretty strong. You cannot argue against anybody who has 30-plus home runs.
Here's the next delivery, and that one misses inside. So it's 3 balls and 1 strike. Sean Tollefson, who's pitching for the Dodgers, kind of an interesting story because he was a 30th round pick not too long ago in the 2010 June draft. And he pitched in the big leagues last season in 40 games for the Dodgers. Next pitch, that's popped foul on the left side. It's going to get back to the seats and out of play.
Yeah, I'll tell you, you're right. You don't hear about guys like that. Usually guys from the 30th have to wait years and years and years even to get noticed.
Right. He was a high walk, high strikeout pitcher last year for the Dodgers. He had 39 strikeouts in 37 2/3 innings, but he also walked 20 batters in those 37-plus innings. 3-1 record last year, 4.30 ERA. He was in AA and AAA as well. And on the 3-2, there is a walk to Mark Trumbo.
There you have it.
So Mark on for the second time. That's the 4th walk the Angels have picked up so far today.
One two for Tollefson. He pitched with a lot of men aboard. With 50, let's see, between 50 base runners just between hits and walks, and 37 2/3. The opponents only hit 221 against him. Go figure.
And you look at his numbers in the minors as the pitches fouled off behind the plate and out of play. And in 120 innings in the minors, 178 strikeouts.
And the walk differential is amazing. 178 strikeouts. 28 walks in the minor leagues, and also 198 average against.
So
Terry, now we know why
he got
called up.
Such the fast track to get to the big leagues, even though he was a guy selected in the 30th round just a couple years ago. It's 0-2 on Iannetta. He's fouled off a couple of pitches here against Tollefson.
And it's not like they waited also to call him up in September. He came up June 7th. At a place that you love very much, Terry. Philly.
His major league debut against Philadelphia.
At Philadelphia.
1-2 is the count now. Iannetta taking the pitch for a ball. Dino Ebel coaching at third base. Alfredo Griffin up the first base side. Toss over to first base. Back goes Trumbo. Tollefson is pitcher number 3 of the day for the Dodgers. The Angels have also used 3 pitchers here in the early going. We're only in the bottom of the 4th inning, and the Angels up 9-3. Next delivery, and that is a called third strike, and out looking is Iannetta. He just couldn't pull the trigger on it. He's a strikeout victim for the second time today.
Iannetta had a front hip opening just enough. Even though his hands might have been ready, his brain may be telling him pull the trigger, but his body was not ready to go. And we can see that if Tollefson can use that slider on the front side against right-handers, well, he might be locking up some guys for those strikeouts.
So here is Luis Rodriguez. He's had an active day so far in this ball game. Couple of hits. Angels have gotten very good production out of the bottom part of the batting order today.
And before the game, you and I were talking about the Angels' bats waking up, so they continue to make some noise, even though it hasn't shown up yet in the win column. We can see the intensity of the at-bats, competition increasing, base runners taking more chances.
Here's the pitch. It's grounded through the right side. It's another hit for Rodriguez. Trumbo is going to go first to third. Twiggs' throw to third base is a little bit late. It was right on line, though. He has a good arm. But the Angels, being aggressive as they normally are on the bases, have runners at the corners with one out for Jimenez.
Another aggressive move, another base hit by Luis Rodriguez, and now Trumbo smartly plays the sound off the bat. He knows where the right fielder Twig is. The ball's not hit very hard, and as a first baseman, he knows very well how long it's going to take for that ball to clear the infield, get to the outfielder. There's no need for him to stop at second base.
So here is Jimenez, who's been busy today as well. A couple of hits. He's driven in a run and also scored a run, and he checks on a pitch that caught the outside corner.
Jimenez has played a lot. This is already his 6th game.
And he's had 13 at-bats already this spring. Here's the pitch. He hits a high fly ball into left field. Waiting on it is Gwynn. Waiting to tag is Trumbo. He will tag and come in to score on the sacrifice fly. So Jimenez gets another RBI. Angels in double figures run-wise, up 10-3. And with 2 outs, Andrew Romine will be the batter.
Luis Jimenez proving once again the idea of getting a good pitch to handle. Why he's driven so many runs throughout his minor league career. Pitch selection, key. Young, veteran, it doesn't matter. Make yourself a better hitter by handling and swinging at pitches that you can handle and that are being offered to you. Sometimes they're not offered to you.
Pitch on Romine in there for a called strike. Romine has had 2 hits. He's scored a run and driven in a run today. He's also stolen a base.
The bottom of the order has been quite busy. A combined 7 hits between them. And 4 RBI.
Here's the pitch on Romine. Fly ball to left field. Camping under. Making the grab on it is Tony Gwynn Jr. And that will end the inning. The Angels add on. Get another run. Had 1 more hit. 1 walk in the inning. No errors. And the Angels leave a runner. We've completed 4. We head to the 5th in Tempe. 10-3 Angels on the Angels Baseball Network and Fox Sports West. Fifth inning we go. It's 10-3 Angels, and the first pitch from Barry Enright to Skip Schumacher. He takes it for a called strike. Enright working in his 2nd inning, and there's one line down the right field side, and that is a fair ball. It hit right on the line. Running it down in the corner is Cousins. Schumacher might go for 3. He will, and no relay throw to third base. He's there with a stand-up leadoff triple. The Dodgers have had their share of extra base hits in this game. They've already had 3 doubles and now a triple. But the Angels have a 7-run lead here in the 5th inning, and the batter will be Puig, who's doubled in a run today.
Skip Schumacher, a big contributor with the St. Louis Cardinals, former teammate of Albert Pujols. And, of course, somebody that the Dodgers' new hitting instructor, Mark McGwire, knows very well.
Yeah, that move kind of surprised some people in the offseason, seeing Mark McGwire leave the Cardinals to become the Dodgers hitting coach. But McGwire, a Southern California native, wanted to get back to Southern California. Here's a lazy fly ball lifted into left center field. Under is Peter Borges, tagging at third base and coming in to score. It'll be Schumacher, and the Dodgers get a run here to start off the 5th inning. Angels lead at 10-4. Let's pause for station identification on the Angels Baseball Network and Fox Sports West. Terry Smith along with Jose Mota. Our producer engineer is Darren Chan, and the next delivery, a fly ball lifted to left. Trout broke in and not going to be able to get to that one. He actually took a couple steps back and then came in, and that cost him. That'll be a bloop single for Luis Cruz, his 3rd hit of the day.
The challenges of playing the outfield, how it changes in the middle of the afternoon here in Arizona. Cruz put his head down thinking, well, there it is, I'm out. And Trout, to begin with, was playing real deep and then could not recover after breaking back on that play.
So 1 out hit. Cruz is now 3 for 3. Enright has given up 4 hits since coming into the ballgame against the 8 batters that he's faced. Here's Jeremy Moore batting. He takes low. 1 ball, no strikes.
See, Terry, if you're hitting 190, that's an out. The outfielder starts back, slips, does everything, but if you're hitting 190, that's an out. Yeah. When you're hot, you're hot. And Cruz is loving hitting against Angels pitching.
Yeah, the back-to-back games here. He has been very impressive with the bat. All chopped foul behind the plate. 1-1 on Jeremy Moore.
So who is Barry Enright? The Angels acquired Barry Enright, Stockton, California native, from Arizona in exchange for Frazier Hall back in July 23rd of last year. Pitched briefly for the Angels last year, but he had major league experience with the Diamondbacks. And finds himself more, Terry, as a depth guy right now for the Angels rotation.
Right. He has some insurance. There's one that's fouled back. And that's really never a term that players really enjoy hearing.
No.
And you can understand why. If you're going to put that uniform on, you want to put it on for the major league club.
Absolutely. Better to be considered than not to be considered, though. I know many guys that are very talented that are not being considered all throughout baseball. And many things happen throughout spring training. You never know who's watching. You never know what kind of injury one might come up.
On a 1-2 delivery, Enright just snuck one on the inside corner, and taking that one is Moore. Struck him out looking. So that is out number 2.
Terry, if you pitch well, if you play well, it doesn't matter where you are in the depth chart, somebody will notice.
All right. Harry Enright, who's out there working for the Angels, he went to Pepperdine. That's where he played his college baseball. He was a 2nd-round pick of Arizona in 2007. Pitch is lined foul down the left side. Good wood on it by Uribe, but a long strike. Enright won 13 games last year in AAA. And when he spent a brief amount of time with the Angels, he appeared in 3 games. Not very many innings, and his ERA was very high, 14.73. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss by Uribe, and now the count jumps to 0-2.
And Enright, in a way, is a rarity because throughout his minor league career, he has been a starter. Only a starter. And 3 relief appearances for the Angels last year. We usually see guys that have been playing for a while, Terry, at least get a year or 2 where somebody was experimenting with him out of the bullpen.
Right. Thinking being, well, I don't know if this guy can help us as a starter. Maybe he could help us somewhere down the road as a reliever. 1 ball, 2 strikes to count on Uribe. We're in the 5th. The Angels up 10-4. Here's the next pitch. That one is low and outside. 2-2 the count.
Angels looking for their first win, a comfortable lead, 6 runs. And it's going to be up to the guys on the mound, where most of the problems for the Angels have come so far this spring.
Enright is set. Here's the 2-2. Pop that's out behind second, and running it down is the shortstop, Andrew Romine. A few feet back on the outfield grass. The inning is over on the pop out the short. Been a few of them handled by Romine today. In the inning, they get a run. They had 2 hits, no errors. They leave a runner on. We're moving to the bottom of the 5th inning in Tempe, and it's 10-4 Angels on the Angels Baseball Network and Fox Sports West. As the Angels get ready to bat here in the bottom of the 5th inning, a couple of changes for the Dodgers. They have a new pitcher, and Paco Rodriguez will take over. He spent some time with the Dodgers last season. He's the new pitcher. He's a lefty. His first name is Steven, but he goes by Paco. And last year was very impressive when the Dodgers called him up. He was taken in the June draft last year. And he was the first player from the 2012 draft to reach the majors. He was a second-round pick of the Dodgers last year, so he's the new pitcher. And the new third baseman, Brian Barton. He replaces Luis Cruz, who had a fine day, 3 times up with 3 hits and a couple of RBIs. So the Angels ready to bat as we get things going here in the bottom of the 5th. Scott Cousins will lead it off. He's the number 9 hitter, lefty-lefty matchup. As Paco Rodriguez delivers, and the first pitch, that one misses inside. It's 1 ball, no strikes.
Pretty impressive numbers in the minor leagues. Remember, he only pitched in 21 games in the minors, 19 2/3 innings, only 2 earned runs, 6 walks and 32 strikeouts for Paco Rodriguez.
There's a bouncer hit to the new third baseman. Barton has it. His throw will get Cousins, and that's the first out. Paco Rodriguez, he has kind of an unusual delivery to the plate. A little bit of hesitation in that delivery, and he really shows you the baseball just before releasing it.
If you watch his hands, and when they separate straight back, and at times that can become an issue, especially at the higher levels, when guys can see your hands and where your fingers are placed to guess right.
And the pitch on its way. That's in there for a called strike. Mike Trout is batting his 4th time up. This could be his final at bat of the day. Trout's had a pair of walks, and he scored a pair of runs. Rodriguez set, and the next pitch. That's on the outside part of the plate. That's a called strike. Mike Trout is playing in his 3rd game this spring, and he's already scored 4 runs in 3 games.
Times he's standing a little bit more straight up now with that back leg. He's switching that balance.
Next pitch, he lifts that one foul on the first base side. Uribe might have a play, and he misjudges the ball, drops foul beside him. He overran it a bit, then got twisted around, and Trout will get a new lease on life on that foul ball. We'll see if Uribe is charged with an error or if they just say no play on that one.
Absolutely overran it, and that is due to one thing, the spin. Uribe usually, or used to the left side of the infield where that ball is spinning differently. This time spinning away from him. He's used to that ball coming into his glove side on the left side of the infield.
So 0-2 the count. Trout awaits the next pitch from Rodriguez. And here it comes. He waves at that one. He missed it badly, and he struck him out. So Mike is retired. 2 are gone. Peter Borges set for his 4th at bat. Peter had a big 3-run triple in the 3rd inning. That's when the Angels scored 7 unearned runs.
Paco Rodriguez got to do something that not many pitchers had done so far in spring training, to get Mike Trout to chase. Boy, Paco showed a tremendous breaking ball. Nice downward angle there with the off speed.
Here's the pitch, and that one is cut on and missed.
And went right back to it.
Peter Borges, when he cleared the bases his last time up, the first runs he's driven in this spring, he got 3 RBIs with 1 swing of the bat. Here's the pitch. He takes that one low. 1 ball, 1 strike. Should be getting the official attendance shortly. Big crowd on hand for Friday afternoon baseball here in Tempe. The 1-1, and that's outside. 2 balls, 1 strike.
And the favorite seat for the youngsters, Terry, the favorite suite, in fact, is way out there in that left field berm. Fun to watch those young faces and young legs walking around and stumbling down that grass, man. That's a sign of baseball in spring.
The 2-1 delivery, cut and a miss by Peter Borges, so it's now 2-2.
Let's take a walk back there one day, Terry.
Yeah, I'll check it out with you,
it's
Jose.
fun. It's a different view out there. Wish DC could set us up to call a game from back there. That'd be fun.
I've called some games from behind the outfield wall in the minors in the past. The 2-2, and that one's low. You've done it in the majors, Jose.
Yeah.
Remember you did it in Boston. You did it in Minnesota.
Now, Minnesota was because there's no room for the Spanish
the old
broadcast. And we were in the right field football press box.
Right.
But in Boston, also ran out of room for the Spanish broadcast, and we were up top of the Green Monster in Boston, and also over in right field on the terrace.
Yep. There's a swing and a miss at a 3-2 pitch. Borges a strikeout victim, and Paco Rodriguez has a pair of strikeouts against the Angels here in the 5th. No runs, hits, or errors, nobody left. 6th inning is coming up. Halos up on the Dodgers, 10-4 on the Angels Baseball Network and Fox Sports West. the Angels have made a boatload of changes defensively as we get ready to move to the 6th inning. It's 10-4 Angels. There's a new battery. David Carpenter on the hill. Carlos Ramirez is the catcher. And around the infield, a whole new look as well for the Angels. The new first baseman, Efren Navarro. The new second baseman, Taylor Lindsay. The new third baseman, Brendan Harris. New shortstop is Eric Stamets. And in the outfield, a new look there as well. Matt Young is in left. J.B. Shuck is in center. And Trent Olchin, who at one time was a Dodger, he is in right field for the Angels. So David Carpenter gets ready to work. The line on Barry Enright. He worked 2 innings today, and he allowed 4 hits. Gave up a run. It was earned. Didn't walk any and struck out 1. Carpenter is set to work as he faces Fedorovich, the catcher, and the first pitch is in there for a called strike.
It's game number 3 for David Carpenter. A couple of innings under his belt. 2 innings, 1 hit, no runs allowed, and 2 strikeouts for the righty. Looks very sharp so far with his command fastball, a lot of movement, and with that sweeping slider.
He's set, and the next pitch right in there for a called strike. 0-2 the count. Carpenter, sinker, slider, and changeup. The pitches he'll feature. And his 2-strike delivery. That is a called 3rd strike on the outside corner. Struck him out looking. So Fedorovich retired on 3 pitches. Good start for Carpenter working here in the 6th inning. And Tony Gwynn Jr. will be the next batter.
We have seen this consistently now, how well the ball is coming out of Carpenter's hand. It's a good sign for the youngster.
Yeah, Carpenter was a guy who kind of got on the radar screen last spring training. Pitched very well for the Angels, and then
he was in the big leagues within the first 10 days of the season.
Right. Began the season in the minors, and the Angels had some bullpen issues early last season in April, and Carpenter got the call up from AAA Salt Lake, and at times pitched very well for the Angels. Then ran into a stretch where he struggled and was sent back down to the minors.
And at times had to be used in situations where Mike Scioscia admittedly did not want to use him, but he was out of options.
Yeah.
And the bullpen and the issues that, of course, we've covered over and over again forced a lot of guys into a role that they were not ready for or were not efficient at.
1 ball, 1 strike on Gwynn after he fouled one off over on the first base side.
Troy Hawkins now with the Mets trying to make the ball club. He signed a minor league contract with an invite. Jason Isringhausen is coaching a college team.
There's a pitch that is outside, 2-1.
But officially not retired, though.
Right. Gwynn's gone 1 for 2. Castillo is also at a 1 for 2 day. He's waiting on deck, the number 9 hitter for the Dodgers. 10-4 Angels, 6th inning here in Tempe. The next pitch, grounded foul over on the first base side.
So we should be seeing Frieri very soon, along with Sean Burnett. The one guy in the bullpen the Angels added that's behind everybody, it's Ryan Madsen.
Ernesto should pitch in relief tomorrow for the Angels. Burnett is slated to get back on the mound in a couple of days. Get to see Scotty Downs in a game for the Angels so far this spring.
Scott Downs, very valuable, especially a couple of years ago.
Here's a fly ball that's lifted into right center. The new center fielder, J.B. Shuck, makes the catch, and that's the second out. 2 are gone.
And Scott Downs had to answer the bell last year as an Angels closer. How about that?
Yep.
In pitching out of place, out of need.
Well, he had done a little bit of closing in the past when he was with Toronto. Kind of a fill-in role for him there with the Blue Jays, and likewise with the Angels.
And the year before, he was unhittable, especially at home.
Carpenter set down the first 2 here, and he misses low and outside for a ball to count. 1 ball, no strikes. And the Angels bat in the bottom of the 6th. It'll be a new look Angel lineup with all of the position players being replaced here. Here's the next delivery. It's hit high in the air into right field. Olchen is going back. He is out at the warning track, and Olchen went diving for that ball out there. It's going to take a bounce and go over the wall.
He absolutely overran that baseball, thinking the sound of the bat and maybe the thin air here in Arizona, and he anticipated this ball carrying way more than it did. And with his speed, it was a catchable. He just misjudged it.
Yep, he had some trouble with that one. So a ground rule double. And the inning continues.
As the sun settles down, we see now Mike Trout had trouble with the ball hit in front of him, and now same thing happens here to Olchen.
So D. Gordon at the plate. And here's the first pitch. He takes that one for a called strike on the outside corner. Angels have 10 hits, so do the Dodgers. The Angels have 10 runs and lead at 10-4. Carpenter thought about tossing to second base, creeping in with Stamets, the shortstop, to cover, but no throw. They do get the runner Castillo to head back to the bag. He's getting a good-sized lead off the second. Carpenter checks the runner and delivers. Low and away. 1-1 the count. Angels playing a Dodger split squad today. They have another game going on in Glendale against the Padres.
From Rangers, Zach Greinke on the mound. Matt Kemp making his spring debut for the Dodgers as a designated hitter in that game.
Pitch is low. It's 2 balls and a strike. Mentioning the Padres, the Angels will play them for the first time this spring next Thursday. That'll be the day after the Angels play the Italian World Baseball Classic team. So we'll get a chance to see Buddy Black's Padres. And then the Angels will play them the following week as well. And the week after that, so it'll be 3 straight weeks here in Arizona where we'll see Bud Black's San Diego Padres. 3 balls, 1 strike to count. Buddy Black armed with a new contract extension.
Buddy Black is a happy man. They're hoping to capitalize on their good finish last year.
Yeah. The 3-1 pitch, and that's low, ball 4, so the inning isn't over yet. Runners on at first and second, 2 outs.
The Padres have one of the best players in the league in Chase Headley, and hopefully a healthy year out of Carlos Quentin. And some changes also in the dimensions at Petco Park. Just look like it's Safeco in Seattle.
Yeah. And moved in the fences by some 12 feet or so. Ball has never really carried much to right field there at Petco, so they're trying to make some adjustments. Maybe see that stadium produce a few more home runs. Here's the pitch. That is a strike on the inside corner. Bud Black, the Padres manager, now signed through the 2015 season. The Padres picked up the options on him for next year and also 2015. He's been their manager since the 2007 season. Here's a pitch that is low. 1 ball, 1 strike. Schumacher has tripled and scored a run. Carpenter got the first 2 batters, but the next 2 have gotten on. There was the double off the bat of Castillo. Ball misplayed by Olchen out in right field. And now the walk in the inning as well. And there's a pitch that misses. He's behind 2-1 on Schumacher. Carpenter is pitcher number 4 of the day. Jared Weaver started the game. And Weaver in his spring training debut were 2 innings. He gave up a couple hits, a run was earned, didn't walk, and he struck out 2. Carpenter's next pitch Grounded on the left side. The shortstop Stamets has it. Flips to Lindsay at second. They will force out the base runner Gordon, and the inning is over on the 6-4 fielder's choice. That'll do it for the Dodgers. No runs, a hit, a walk, no errors. They leave a pair. Bottom of the 6th coming up. It's 10-4 Angels on the Angels Baseball Network and Fox Sports West. We have a few changes for the Dodgers as the Angels get ready to bat in the bottom of the 6th, up 10-4. Is a new pitcher in the game. That's Chris Reed, and his first pitch on the left-handed hitting Cole Calhoun. Calhoun takes it for ball 1. It's 1 ball, no strikes. Matt Wallach is the new catcher, and that one is low and outside. It's 2 balls and no strikes. Dallas McPherson is now playing at first base for the Dodgers. They have a few changes in the outfield as well. And here's the pitch. That one is lifted foul on the left side. So the count, 2 balls and 1 strike on Cole Calhoun.
So the changes are in. Young players excited about getting into this ball game, and we are being patient to find out exactly and give you the right names and who's where. Sign of the spring, Terry.
There's one that's fouled off.
Don't take it too hard. It's okay. It comes around.
Rafael Yanola is the new second baseman. Rusty Ryle is the new right fielder. And the next delivery on Calhoun, he lifts one in the air into left field. Chasing hard is the left fielder Nick Evans, but it drops foul out of his reach. They also had the new shortstop chasing that one, and the third baseman Brian Barton. The new shortstop is Ozzie Martinez.
We saw him play a little third base yesterday.
Yep. Chris Reed, the new pitcher, working with the count 2-2 on Cole Calhoun. And the next pitch, Calhoun taking that one for ball 3, 3-2. Calhoun has the knack of, when he bats, facing left-handed pitchers, and he's facing another one right now in Reed.
I think this goes back to the first game he played with the Angels in spring training of last season.
No doubt. And the pitch, that one is low, and he's on with a leadoff walk.
So it was Calhoun and Ryan Langerhans.
Right.
Lefty-lefty matchups later. It didn't bother Calhoun at all. Just like in this at bat, he does a good job tracking the baseball, getting on base.
Chris Reed, who is working, is pitcher number 5 of the day for the Dodgers. Last inning, we saw Paco Rodriguez, and he retired 3 in a row with a couple of strikeouts. And the batter now for the Angels is Brendan Harris. This is his first time up today.
Veteran player Brendan Harris trying to make the ball club.
Harris,
replacement infielder.
He's hitting out of Trumbo's cleanup spot. Mark was 0 for 2 with a couple of runs scored. He also had a walk today. Here's the next pitch on Harris. He lifts that one foul on the right side, backing out of play. Matt Young is waiting on deck. He'll be hitting out of Ionetta's spot. Ionetta went 0 for 3 today.
Harris played for Colorado Springs last year, 106 games in the Rocky Farm system. Hit .317, 9 home runs, 63 RBIs, .407 on base percentage. Versatile around the infield. He can help you in many ways. He has played for, among other teams, Terry, Montreal, another former Expo.
There you go.
Washington, Cincinnati, Tampa Bay, and Minnesota.
Here's the pitch. That one is a cold third strike on the outside corner. He struck him out looking. So one away. Kind of ironic in a way that a couple of players that are fighting for that reserve infield spot for the Angels, Brendan Harris and also Tommy Field, they were both teammates last year.
That's something
for the Rockies at Colorado Springs, or AAA club.
Well, with Harris, at least you know where you're going to get, and he knows what to expect out of that role if he is the guy. And Joe Madden was a big advocate of Brendan Harris when he was at Tampa Bay.
Here's a pitch that gets away from Reed. It sails behind the batter, Young, and all the way back to the backstop. So that will move Calhoun up to second base. Boy, that was a wild, wild pitch right there.
Curveball with a big slip. Just could not finish it.
So it's 1 ball, no strikes. Shuck is waiting on deck. Here's the next pitch. Fouled off, back to the screen. 1-1 is the count. Reed is ready, checks the runner at second. Here's his next delivery. That's way low and outside. So it's 2 balls and 1 strike. The lefty okays the sign. He's set, and the 2-1 delivery. Smacked on the right side. A foul ball over near the Angels' first base dugout. Two balls, 2 strikes, the count. Reed's 2-2. Chopped on the right side of the infield. Yanoa, the new second baseman, fields it and throws to first in time. On the play, Calhoun moves over to third. And the next batter will be J.B. Shuck, who's hitting out of Luis Rodriguez's spot, the number 6 spot in the batting order. Rodriguez had a nice day. He went 3 for 3 with 3 singles. He drove in a run. He also scored a run. The Angels have a lot of left-handed batters here in this part of the batting order, and there's a pitch that misses low. 1 ball, no strikes. Shuck, the lefty hitter. The Angels have Trent Olchin waiting on deck. He's another left-handed batter. Calhoun led the inning off, a left-handed hitter. There's a pitch that's low. So the count 2 balls and no strikes.
Is it about the sign so Mike Sergio can see what the lefties can do against lefties or what?
I don't know. Angels are up 10-4 batting here in the 6th. There's a pitch that caught the inside part of the plate. That's a called strike. The hit would mean another run as Calhoun is the 2-out base runner. He's over there at third base. And the next pitch on Shuck, he checks on that one. He went around. So he is batting now with 2 strikes. The count 2-2. Chris Reed, a California native, delivers, and a bouncing ball hit the short. Good stop by Martinez. His throw to first base takes the first baseman McPherson off the bag. That'll be an infield hit and a run batted in, and the Angels now are up by a score of 11-4. Give Shuck a 2-out RBI single.
Well, the right approach against a left-hander can really help, and that is to keep it as simple as possible and just going out there, minimizing your stride and tracking the baseball. And more than anything, trusting your hands. Good job of pushing the ball the other way by J.B. Shuck. The Angels take advantage again with another walk, a wild pitch, and some good situational hitting.
Shuck with his 2nd RBI this spring. Here's Olchin, the former Dodger, facing his old club, and he takes that pitch low and outside. 1 ball, no strikes. Dodgers have more action in their bullpen. We'll probably see a new reliever for the Angels when we get to the 7th inning. David Carpenter had a scoreless inning last inning, pitched out a little bit of trouble in the 6th. Here's the next pitch, fouled off on the first base side. 1 ball, 1 strike on the Australian Trent Olchin. Efren Navarro waiting on deck. When Navarro bats, it'll be his first time up today. Here's the next pitch. That's fouled off over the Angels dugout on the first base side. The Angels have banged out 11 hits, and it's produced 11 runs. Biggest offensive day of the Cactus League for the Angels, who are trying to come away with win number 1 here in Arizona. The 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss, and down on strikes goes Olchin. Reed fooled him right there. He took something off that pitch, and he gets his 2nd strikeout of the inning. Angels do get a run, had 1 hit, 1 walk, no errors, and leave 1 runner on base. The 7th is next. The Angels are up here in Tempe, 11-4 on the Angels Baseball Network and Fox Sports West. Fans, don't forget the annual Angels 5K and Fun Run will take place on March the 30th. Participants will run a course through the Big A and receive a commemorative shirt and ticket to watch the Angels take on the Dodgers later that night. For more information and to sign up, visit angels.com/5K. Proceeds from the event will benefit the Angels Baseball Foundation. So, new pitcher for the Halos, Fernando Cabrera takes over for David Carpenter. Cabrera becomes pitcher number 5 of the day. Carpenter worked an inning. He gave up a hit, no runs. He walked 1, struck out 1. And now it'll be Cabrera who gets the baseball for the Halos. Rusty Ryle, who is batting out of Puig's spot. He replaced him in right field as well. Ryle will be the first batter. And the pitch, that one is lifted in the air down the left field side, down that left field corner, and that ball is going to hit the foul pole. It's a home run. Ryle wasted little time against Cabrera, lining one off the foul pole for a homer.
Well, that ball kept hooking and hugging that line, and Ryle does a good job in extending those arms, and because of that, it caused the ball to curve, and the third base umpire did a good job staying right on that. Terry, good call. We've had some tough ones here so far this spring.
Yeah.
Between the foul pole and the fence beyond the wall here.
Right. So the Dodgers get their first home run of the day, and the Angel lead at 11-5. And Brian Barton is the batter. He's batting for the first time today. Here's the pitch, and he takes that one low for a ball. It's 2 balls and no strikes.
So not the start that Cabrera wanted. He's been throwing the ball very well in some good side sessions, according to Angels pitching coach Mike Butcher, a guy that's always had a very good arm.
Cabrera came in 2 relief appearances this spring, couple of hitless and scoreless innings. Here's one fouled off on the right side. It's back to the seats and out of play. 2-1 on Brian Barton. Looks like Blake Smith is waiting on deck to bat, number 88. Here's the pitch. Lifted in the air into right field. Olchin is battling the sun out there. He's under. He puts it away. And that'll be the first out.
Hey fans, groups of 25 or more can enjoy exciting Angels baseball for as low as $6 per seat. And this year, take advantage of the exclusive Group Pat collection for select series. And to book your group outing today, call 888-796-HALO or visit angels.com/groups. Come out to the Big A and have a good old time.
Blake Smith is the batter. He is a switch hitter, and he swings at the first pitch and bounces one through the right side for a base hit. He's here from the Dodgers minor league camp and gets a hit his first time up.
And he's got the double flap helmet. You can tell he's a minor league call-up. He's got a number on his back with no name. And Terry, this is a great day for a youngster like this, man. The whole family will hear about this one.
Yep.
Gotta love it.
So Dallas McPherson is the batter. He took over for Juan Uribe at first base, and he's batting in his spot in the batting order. This is his first time up. Uribe went 1 for 3. Saw McPherson get into the ball game yesterday as well against the Angels, a former Halo, and he takes that one outside. 1 ball, no strikes. It's 11-5 Angels, top of the 7th inning here in Tempe. Infield at double play depth. Cabrera is ready, and here's the pitch, and that one is a little bit low and away. 2 balls and no strikes.
Well, here in this ballpark, we have seen some shots hit into the moon by Dallas McPherson back in the days as an Angels player. And some prolific shots by McPherson, also minor league camp in the backfields.
Here's the next pitch, and he fouls that one off over by The catcher, Matt Wallach, who's waiting on deck. So the count on McPherson, 2 balls and 1 strike. Dallas McPherson in his minor league career, 209 home runs.
And swinging it.
Pitch on its way. It's fouled back.
Which also means, unfortunately, that he has spent a lot of time down there.
Yep.
And for a guy that projected as a legit, elite, major league prospect, it's unfortunate that just has not panned out in the big leagues.
McPherson, a big guy, 6'4", 225. He'll be 33 years old in July. I mentioned the 209 homers in the minors, 18 in the big leagues. Over 700 RBIs in the minors, 45 career runs batted in the majors. The pitch, he takes that one low. The last time he saw action in the big leagues back in 2011, he was with the White Sox for a brief time. He's played for the Marlins and with the Angels 2004, 2005, and 2006.
I still recall one that he hit at the Big A during the regular season against Kansas City. That thing was way up there in Barry Bonds territory in the right field pavilion.
Second round pick of the Angels back in 2001. Here's the next pitch, and he swings and misses. That one struck him out. So 2 are gone. And the batter will be the catcher, Matt Wallach. He's the son of Tim Wallach, who's one of the Dodger coaches. The attendance today here in Tempe, 6,744, 67-44. First pitch on Matt Wallach. That one misses, and then a snap throw by the Angels. Catcher Carlos Ramirez up the first base side. The runner gets back.
There, we was talking about Smith at first base with number 88 and no number, but Carlos Ramirez, also a very good story behind the plate. A kid that probably catches more bullpens than anybody here at camp, and doesn't get into a lot of games. It's good to see him get some reps back there. He was in Double-A for the Angels last year.
Pitch on Wallach. He takes that one low. Matt Wallach played in Double-A last year at Chattanooga. He hit 232. And he lives now in Yorba Linda. Went to Cypress College and also Cal State Fullerton.
I told you there's a lot of Titans around, Terry. Don't hide. Don't go anywhere. You can't hide.
Next pitch, he takes that one outside.
That's good for the Dodgers to keep it in the family. As Tim is with the split squat team back in Glendale facing the Padres. Former manager Don Mattingly.
Matt Wallach has some of his siblings that are playing. His brother Brett is a pitcher in the Cubs organization. Has a brother Chad, who's a catcher right now at Cal State Fullerton. And that pitch on Matt Wallach misses, and he is on with a 2-out walk. So the inning continues. A little bit of everything in this inning for Cabrera.
And Cabrera needs to have the ability right now to just put that home run behind him. The 2-out walk, obviously something you don't want to see come back and haunt you, but it's time now to really bear down against his right-hander and execute pitches.
Nick Evans is the batter. This is his first time up. He's hitting out a Tony Gwynn Jr. spot. He took over for him in left field as well, and he takes that pitch for a called strike. Oh, and 1 to count. Cabrera is ready. Here's the next pitch. Check swing, pop in his shallow right center field, going back and almost making the grab is Lindsey. The ball popped out of his glove as he landed on the outfield grass, trying to make a jumping catch on that one, and that'll be a bloop RBI hit for Evans, and the Dodgers now are trailing the Angels 11-6.
Evans feeling pretty good about this one. Outstanding effort at second base by the youngster Taylor Lindsay. No hesitation whatsoever. He took the right direction, right route. And at the very end, it was too much of a run to control the baseball and keep it inside that glove. But my goodness, talking about playing hard.
Chris O'Brien is now going to bat. He's hitting for the designated hitter Wilkin Castillo. He went 2 for 3 today.
Turning for Cabrera, going, well, I made the pitch. His excuse me swing, and look what happens.
Next delivery, that's a looper the opposite way into left center field. It's going to drop in, and it's going to split the outfielders and roll out near the warning track. 1 run is in, a second being waved around. They get 2 more runs in on that opposite field hit by O'Brien. And now it's an 11-8 Angels lead. O'Brien ends up with a 2-out, 2-run double.
So that costly walk comes back and gets Cabrera. The pitch out over the plate, not able to locate the ball well, and everything has been up and very hittable for these very hungry young players coming in here for the second half of the game.
So that's hit number 14 for the Dodgers. The Angels have had 11 hits. But the Angels are up by 3 runs as the pitch on Ozzie Martinez is in there for a strike. This is his first at bat. He's hitting out of D. Gordon's leadoff spot. He replaced him at shortstop as well. Cabrera is struggling to get the final out here. He delivers. And the pitch, that one misses. 1 ball, 1 strike. D. Gordon, who was in the leadoff spot when the game began for the Dodgers, had a solid day. He was on base 3 the 4 times up, scored a couple of runs, stole a couple of bases, got a pair of walks and a single. Here's the next delivery. Lifted in the air into shallow left field. Matt Young, the left fielder, is shading the eyes out there under in shallow left. He'll put it away, and the inning is over. But the Dodgers sent 8 to the plate, and in the inning they score 4 times. They had a total of 4 hits in the inning, including the leadoff home run by Ryle. In the inning, a walk, no errors, and in the inning they leave 1 runner on. It's 7th inning stretch time in Tempe. The Angels up on the Dodgers 11-8 on the Angels Baseball Network and Fox Sports West. Angels get set to bat as we go to the bottom of the 7th inning. It's 11-8 in favor of the Halos. A new pitcher for the Dodgers. Their 6th of the day. Sean White replaces Chris Reed. Reed worked the bottom of the 6th against the Halos. Gave up a hit and run. Also walked one, struck out a couple. So Efren Navarro will lead it off against the right-hander Sean White. And the first pitch, that one is low. 1 ball, no strikes.
So, Terry, this is going to come down to a young pitcher out of the Angels bullpen holding on to this lead. A 4-run 7th for the Dodgers. Gets them closer, down only by 3 runs.
Here's the next pitch, and that one is low and inside. 2 balls, no strikes. Navarro is batting for the first time today. He's hitting out of Romine's spot. Andrew had a couple of hits, scored a run, and drove in a run and stole a base today. Had a nice day for the Angels. Made some plays at short. The pitch. Here's one grounded to short. It's right at Ozzie Martinez, and his throw is in time to get Navarro. There's 1 gone in the Angels' 7th.
Well, fans, yes, the 2013 Cactus League is here, and you can enjoy Angels baseball in beautiful Tempe, Arizona for as low as $12 per seat. Log on to angels.com/spring or visit the Tempe Diablo Stadium box office to get your tickets today. Be part of the action here in camp.
So batting for the first time this afternoon is Taylor Lindsay. And the first pitch, he takes that one for a called strike.
Every time Taylor Lindsay comes up to hit, you expect solid contact.
Here's the pitch. He takes that one for a ball. 1-1 is the count on Lindsay.
Lindsay so far this spring is 2 for 6. At one point last spring, he was like 7 for 7 to begin the Cactus League.
And there he swings and misses a pitch. He's in the hole. It's now 1 ball, 2 strikes. Lindsay is a left-handed batter. He was at Class A Inland Empire last year. Hit .289. He's been a career .308 hitter in the minors.
And he has spent considerable time in these backfields, employing more of his effort on his defense. His bat is ahead.
And the pitch on its way. He hits one in the air into right center field, and that one finds a spot and drops in for a base hit. Perfectly placed there by Lindsay as he got it in between Smith, the new center fielder, Ryle, and the second baseman who was backtracking on it. Group single for Taylor Lindsay, and the next batter batting for the first time today is Carlos Ramirez, the catcher.
Well, Lindsay does it again. He's got that magic stick out there working. It's a pretty mature hitter. He also strikes zone well, stays within himself, and he's got himself a base hit.
So Ramirez is the batter. Toss over to first base. Lindsay gets back to the bag in time. Carlos Ramirez, a very good defensive catcher. Hit only .204 last year at AA Arkansas. And that one misses low. You look at Ramirez, and it kind of reminds you a little bit of Benji Molina, the same body type, especially when Benji was younger.
Yep. It took Benji a long time to convince anybody in the big leagues to give him a chance. And Terry Collins took notice. And Mike Scioscia polished him.
Sean White bluffing a throw over to first base. Angels have scored runs today in 4 different innings, and a big inning, and it was a big inning, was the bottom of the third. 7 runs for the Angels. They were all unearned. The pitch, a liner that is caught by the shortstop, firing the ball back to first base is Martinez, but it took a bounce away from McPherson. Back easily to the bag goes Lindsay. 2 outs, the liner to short.
See, Terry, how it is? The guy that hits over 300 in this career minor leagues hits a blooper and is a base hit, right? The guy was a 208 hitter last year. It's a line drive. It's an out. Sure. What is wrong with this game at times, man?
It's not fair a lot of times. So the hitter for the Angels is the shortstop, Eric Stamets. This is his first time up. Toss over to first, and a balk has been charged on White. So Lindsay will move up to second base on the balk.
Well, there's a free man in scoring position right now with 2 outs. Got to try to pad up his scoreboard right now, up by 3 runs.
Here's the pitch on Stamets, and he takes that one outside. Stamets is one of the faster runners in the Angels organization. He can really fly around the bases. He was a 6th-round pick of the Angels last June. And the pitch, that one is low and outside. 2 balls and no strikes.
Quickly finds himself in Major League camp to show his skills. And like Socha, the whole organization, in terms of speed, you use it right, you use it smartly, you polish your game out all the way around, and you're going to get a chance.
Here's the pitch on Stamets. That one is a called strike. When the Angels signed him last June, he did not go to rookie ball. They put him on the Cedar Rapids club, and he more than held his own. He hit .274. He's a solid defender, strong arm. Here's the pitch. He chops that one on the right side. That's going to skip through into right field for a base hit. Being waved around is Lindsay. He will score. Stamets has an RBI hit. Angels add on, and now the lead is 12-8.
We're just talking about how well he held his own down in Cedar Rapids right after getting drafted. But when you do things like this, can stay on the baseball longer and protect home plate in and out and have good hand-eye coordination, you're going to give yourself a chance. Nice job, and the Angels do get that run and capitalize on the balk.
Cole Calhoun will be the batter. So we'll see if Stamets might be on the move over there at first base. I mentioned he can really run. And he's getting a good-sized lead off the bag. Not going on the first pitch, and Calhoun takes it inside. Let's pause for station identification on the Angels Baseball Network and Fox Sports West. One ball and no strikes to count. There goes Stamets. The pitch is low. The throw to second. Pops off the glove of the shortstop Martinez. That'll be a stolen base. So sure enough, Stamets was on the move. And he steals the base. That's the 3rd stolen base of the day for the Angels.
Excellent job by Stamets. Good to have somebody like Cole Calhoun, who's got a pretty good idea and great eye at home plate to allow you to get there. Youngsters, man, getting on base is for somebody that can run to be able to show that speed in front of the staff. Big league staff is important here in camp.
2-0 on Calhoun. Ball 3. It was low and in.
Terry, I've seen cases where, you know, a guy comes into big league camp with a great reputation of running, but he never gets on.
Sure.
You can't see him. I mean, it's not about speed only. It's about your instinct and how well you run the bases in baseball. It's 90 feet at a time.
White is ready. Here's the next pitch, and that's low and in, and that's ball 4. So Calhoun keeps the inning alive. Angels have runners at first and second. Cole Calhoun has had a couple of walks since he's come into this ball game. And Brendan Harris will be the next batter.
5 walks previous to this one by Dodger pitching. All have scored for the Angels. Just remarkable.
Yeah.
He just came into this game having a .298 team average, but also a 7.91 team ERA.
So here's Harris, bats from the right side, goes after the first pitch and tips it into the mid of the catcher, Matt Wallach, for strike 1. No balls and 1 strike. Hope you're enjoying the action today wherever you're listening to Angels Spring Training Baseball. Friday afternoon baseball, Angels and Dodgers. And it's been a wild one already. 20 runs have scored in this game. There have been 27 hits between the two teams. There's a pitch that misses inside. The Angels have had 6 walks now in the ball game. So base runners galore really for both sides. 2 on right now with 2 outs. And the 1-1 pitch called strike on the outside corner. Sean White, who's pitching for the Dodgers. This is his first appearance this spring. Harris gets on. Matt Young would be up next. It counts 1-2. The next delivery fouled back to the screen. Still 1 ball, 2 strikes. The attendance today, 6,744. 6,744 here at Tempe Diablo Stadium.
By far, Terry, the warmest afternoon we've had here.
Yep, warmest day here, and also the biggest crowd we've had here for an Angel home game in Tempe.
It's only going to get better. Baseball fever is back.
Right now it's 79 degrees. When we got started, it was 68.
Well, we've done a lot of 50s, 57s.
Oh, yeah. Here's a bouncer hit to the shortstop, and it handcuffs Martinez. By the time he scoops it back up after he bobbled and dropped it, he has no throw anywhere. So that'll be another error against the Dodgers. They've had 3 of them today, and the Angels have the bases loaded for Matt Young.
That's a famous in-between hop as a shortstop, especially because you're playing a little bit deeper, of course, than your third baseman. You see that big hop, you have to decide very quickly, am I going to try to get it on that big loop? Do I stay back or what? Also, you got to be aware of who's running and what the game situation is. In other words, filling, and I can tell you from experience, is having an in-betweener because it's all related to your first step, what you did or didn't do.
Dodgers had a little meeting at the mound. Rick Honeycutt, their pitching coaches here for this game. He is not back with Don Mattingly in Glendale for their other game against the Padres.
Usually in these cases, there'll be an agreement. You need to go out there and evaluate some arms for me.
Right. So here's the pitch on Young, and he lifts one in the air into left center field, and that'll split the outfielders and roll all the way out to the wall. It's going to be extra bases. The runners have all come in, and going to third base and sliding in there with a bases-loaded triple is Young. The Angels now have 15 runs today and lead it 15-8. The second time in this game that the Angels have had a 3-run triple. Borges did it way back in the 3rd inning.
Splitting gaps and taking advantage of opportunities has been a key here for the Angels as they take advantage of previously said the balk. Another walk that scored. 6 walks and all 6 have scored. And also the costly error by Martinez at shortstop. The young players once again making their points later in the game.
All of these runs are unearned. The Angels have had 10 unearned runs today.
How about that?
We're going to have a pitching change. The Dodgers will go to the bullpen. When we get back, Angels still batting here in the bottom of the 7th, leading 15-8 on the Angels Baseball Network and Fox Sports West. The new pitcher in the ballgame for the Dodgers is left-hander Eric Eddington. So he is completing his warm-up tosses. White had a tough time as he went 2/3 of an inning. He gave up 3 hits, 4 runs. And the runner at third base is property. Only one of the runs earned against Sean White.
Let's give Dodgers general manager Ned Colletti an assist on that name. Eddington.
That's right.
Ned Colletti saw us struggling to find out who was pitching. He wrote it for us and said, hey, in fact, he's out of Harvard University.
Wow, there you go. So he's an Ivy Leaguer.
There you go.
I'll bet he had a good GPA in the Ivy League at Harvard. If you don't, you're not going to stick around too long there.
Or get in.
That's right. So Eddington, who was wearing number 89, throws the first pitch in there for a called strike.
Angels now 7 for 14 with runners in scoring position. It's remarkable. Nice job.
At the plate is J.B. Shuck, and he takes that pitch for a called strike. A couple strikes on him, and then the ball was thrown back to the pitcher, and it went by Eddington, and it rolls out near second, and breaking for the plate and scoring is Young.
Eddington's pointing to his catcher Wallach, saying he didn't see the ball to get it down a little bit more, but it's a little bit too late.
So that'll be an error on the catcher, and their second error in the inning. And the pitch on its way. That one is popped up behind second base. Under is the shortstop on the outfield grass, Ozzie Martinez. He will put it away, and that will end the inning. But the Angels have another good inning here as they come up with more runs, scoring 5 in the inning. And the Angels did it with only 3 hits. There were 2 errors in the inning and nobody left on base. We get ready to move to the 8th inning here in Tempe. And the Angels have doubled up the Dodgers. It's 16-8 on the Angels Baseball Network and Fox Sports West. We move to the 8th inning, and the Dodgers getting ready to bat against the Angel right-hander Fernando Cabrera. He had a rough 7th inning. He's still out there to work here in the 8th, and the first pitch, that one's in there for a strike. He faces a left-handed hitter, and the next delivery, it's chopped on the right side, right at Taylor Lindsay. He will throw to first base, and it's in time for the out. So one quick out. And Noah just grounding out. That was his first time up today. He was hitting out of Schumacher's spot. He replaced him at second base and in the 2-hole in the batting order as well.
Well, Terry, vote of confidence for Fernando Cabrera as he takes him out once again after scuffling his first inning out there.
It's a pitch in there for a called strike on Ryle.
And he's that guy that is at that point of his career where he needs to take advantage of every single pitch that he throws.
Ryle has homered here against Cabrera. It was the first batter he faced, and it was the first pitch he threw. And he gets him to pop one up foul on the third base side here, under near the Dodger dugout, and having the ball pop out of his glove is Brendan Harris. So that'll be an error on Harris, the Angels' third baseman. It's a foul ball, so Ryle will continue batting, but it certainly should have been the second out.
And it's been a long day. It's reflecting in many ways here today.
Yep.
Throw by the catcher back to the mound. Things like that are happening here today.
5 errors today. It's the first one against the Angels. We'll run down some other action around the Cactus League today. Mentioned the Dodgers playing another game. They're playing the Padres, and the last time we checked, they were trailing in that one as well. 7-5 in the bottom of the 9th inning. Cleveland beat the White Sox today 9-7. Arizona up on the Cubs 6-2 in the 9th. And Seattle with an 8-6 lead against Texas in the 9th inning. The pitch, and that one comes in, and hit by it is Ryle. So he ends up reaching base safely, as it turns out, after the at-bat was prolonged by the error. And now they have a 1-out base runner. Brian Barden will be the next hitter. In the 8th inning, Royals and Reds tied at 2. In the 8th inning, Giants up on the A's 10-8. And the Rockies beat the Brewers. The Angels will play the Brewers tomorrow. 5-2. Colorado won that ball game. Check out some grapefruit action from Florida in just a moment. The pitch. That's a called strike on the outside corner. Toronto beat Tampa Bay 5-4. Laurie hit a home run in that ball game for Toronto.
I like his game, man. He plays hard. Playing for Team Canada, right?
Right. Baltimore beat Pittsburgh 6-5. It's a pitch that missed for a ball. Gabby Sanchez had a couple of home runs in that ball game for the Pirates. And Brian Roberts hit a home run for Baltimore.
He's back in there. Hopefully he can stay healthy and stay in one piece. Because they did it without him last year.
Yep, he's a guy who's missed a lot of action really over the last few seasons because of concussion issues.
And when he is healthy, man, he is a threat. Extra bases, stolen bases, good defense, good leader.
Here's the 1-1 breaking ball, and that was a beauty. Cut on and missed by Barton. It's 1-2. The Phillies doubled up the Yankees 10-5. The Yanks are 1-7 this spring. Houston and St. Louis played to an 8-8 tie. Minnesota beat Miami 8-7. Here's the 1-2. That's low. Good block by the catcher Ramirez. 2-2 the count. And the Mets were winners against the Detroit Tigers today, 6-2. That's it as far as the exhibition scoreboard here on this Friday. And this one, the Angels with a 16-8 lead against the Dodgers in a game where we've had almost 30 hits between the two teams. 28 hits. They've each had 14 hits. Here's the pitch. Grounded through the left side. There's another hit. Single into left field off the bat of Barton, and 2 are on with 1 out. Mike Scioscia is going to make a move to the bullpen, so Cabrera is going to be lifted here with 1 out in the 8th.
His stuff just does not look all that good right now.
Yeah, he had trouble retiring batters today. Angels will go to the bullpen. A pitching change here in the 8th, 16-8. The Angels on top on the Angels Baseball Network and Fox Sports West. New pitcher for the Angels is Austin Wood. We've seen him in one other game so far this spring, and in that one outing he had some trouble. He gave up a couple of hits and a run. So he replaces Cabrera. Wood is a USC product, 6th round pick of the Angels in 2011. And he was a starting pitcher last year at Cedar Rapids. He has a good arm.
Yes, he does.
His fastball will top out in the upper 90s, and he has a very good breaking ball as well, and he'll throw a changeup.
Natural reception, and the fastball will get on hitters very quickly, as I witnessed on some of the batting practice sessions he had against hitters.
So Wood takes over, trying to get the final 2 outs here in the 8th. 2 are on base. Blake Smith is the batter. He's had a single since coming into the game, and the first pitch on the left-handed hitter, that was a fastball with some good pop, and that one is in there for a strike.
You could hear that one all the way up here.
Dallas McPherson waiting on deck for the Dodgers. Wood is ready, and the next pitch, and that one's in there as well. A called strike on the outside part of the plate. 0-2. Wood is pitcher number 6 of the day for the Angels. The Angels have had only one pitcher who has not allowed any runs today, and that was David Carpenter. And he had to work out of trouble to pitch a scoreless inning. Here's the 0-2, and it didn't miss by much. A little low and in.
I wonder if there's a little cross up there between Wood and Ramirez.
I think
and
there
the way
might have been.
Ramirez received it, I don't think he was ready for this pitch. Luckily, the ball found the glove.
So the count's 1-2. Wood is set. Here's the next delivery, and that's cut on and fouled off on the left side, backing out of play. The numbers on Fernando Cabrera. He went an inning and a third. He gave up 5 hits right now, 4 runs, all earned. The 2 runners on base, his property. He ended up walking 1. Striking out 1, giving up a homer, and he hit a batter. Here's the 1-2 pitch, and that one is cut on and missed. A good-looking fastball struck him out. Smith is retired, and McPherson, the next batter, with 2 away.
That ball got on that hitter so quickly. There's that natural deception that Wood provides, man, with a short arm action and solid stride towards the plate, and boom, explosion.
So here's Dallas McPherson, who struck out his first time up. Another left-handed batter against Wood, and the right-hander's pitch. That one is low.
McPherson had a run-producing double against the Angels yesterday over there in Glendale, and his first time up today. Facing Cabrera, he did not look good on the outside fastball. That's where the Angels went back out there.
1-0 pitch. He chases one low and tips it into the mid of Ramirez, the catcher. So the count, 1 ball, 1 strike. Angels have had a couple of big innings today. A 7-run 3rd inning and a 5-run 7th. The pitch that is in there for a called strike. So it's 1-2.
Josh Hamilton got on the board and got the Angels on the board. First hit, a home run way back to right center field. And it was loud.
Here's the next delivery, and that's swung on and missed, and very impressive. Wood comes in and strikes out a pair of batters, and the inning is over. No runs, a hit, an error, and 2 runners left. We're headed to the bottom of the 8th inning. The Angels in command, up 16-8 on the Angels Baseball Network and Fox Sports West. First batter up for the Angels as we go to the bottom of the 8th inning will be Trent Olchen, who's had one at bat today. And he gets ready to face Eric Eddington, who came in, got the final out against the Angels last inning when the Angels put a 5 spot on the board. Lefty-lefty matchup, and the first pitch, a broken bat pop into shallow right field. That one's going to drop in front of Ryle for a base hit. So Olchen sacrificed the bat there, but gets the hit. I'm sure he'll take that exchange, and he is on to start things off in the 8th inning.
Take the knock anytime, especially once again lefty against lefty.
Efren Navarro will be the batter. The Angels have scored 16 runs today, and 11 of the runs are unearned. I don't know that I can recall a game in a long time where a team has scored that many unearned runs in a game.
I agree. Every little break they've gotten, they've been able to capitalize on it.
Yeah. And you mentioned it earlier, Jose. The Angels have had all the walks in the ballgame, 6 walks, and every Angel batter who has walked has scored today. Here's the 0-1 pitch. That's fouled off on the left side, backing out of play.
It's always a good sign. Because you know, during the regular season, there'll be times when the opposite happens. And it's more than frustrating because that means that you have many opportunities to score runs.
And the Angels have only left 5 runners on base. So when they've had them on, they've gotten them in. 16 runs today, by far high here in the Cactus League for the Halos. 1 ball, 2 strikes, the count on Navarro. Here's the pitch, and that one is pitch inside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Eddington is set. He delivers. Ball nubbed on the left side. That's a line hugger. It's fielded by the third baseman, Barton, and he throws out Navarro. Boy, that was a heads-up play there by Barton. That ball actually started off foul and then kind of made a right turn and started hugging the line. And Barton was wise to go through with the play. He did, and he gets the out at first base.
You're right there, because in many occasions, you see third basemen give up on this play and just hugging the line. You just never know. Stay with it. Finish the play off. We not only see the infielders sometimes give up on it, we see the hitters sometimes give up on it, not run, and maybe cut themselves short of a base hit for not running.
So here's Taylor Lindsay batting, and he takes the first pitch for a called strike. On the ground out, off the bat of Navarro. Olchen moves up to second, so he's there with 1 away.
In case the game was not strange enough, there's another one for you.
Yep. Here's the pitch, and that one is a little low and in. 1 ball, 1 strike. The Angels have started off the month of March with a bang, putting a big 16-run outburst on the board today. And the pitch, there goes the bat flying, and the ball is grounded foul over on the right side. That bat landed in the Angels' dugout.
Just got to make sure our good friend Scott Snyder is okay over there. I see him duck.
Yeah.
Our stage manager.
1-2 the count. Lindsay is back in the batter's box. Bat in hand. And a 1-2 pitch. He takes that one for a called third strike. A high fastball on the inside part of the plate. So that is out number 2. That is the first strikeout for Eddington since coming into the game. Eddington, the 7th pitcher used by the Dodgers. The Angels have used 6 and will likely have a 7th work in the 9th inning. We'll see. So here is Ramirez, the catcher. And he lined out his first time up. Here's the pitch. That one is in there for a called strike. Outfield is pretty shallow, especially the center fielder Blake Smith, and the pitch. That one is low and outside. 1-1 the count. The Ivy Leaguer Eric Eddington pitching for the Dodgers. And here's his next pitch. Swing and a miss. 1-2 on Carlos Ramirez. Tomorrow, the Angels and the Milwaukee Brewers. C.J. Wilson makes his first start for the Angels. Sunday, Joe Blanton will go for the Angels. That'll be a game here against the Cubs. And the next pitch, and that one is low. 2-2 the count.
In that game, Joe Blanton will be facing new Cub hurler Edwin Jackson, signed as a free agent by Chicago.
Yeah, that deal there kind of raised some eyebrows. The length of the deal and the amount of money for Edwin Jackson, who's basically been a .500 pitcher in his career. Here's the next delivery. Cut on, fouled off on the right side, backing out of play. But the Cubs are a team rebuilding, and they would appear to be a few years away. They've started to stockpile some pretty good young talent. Their farm system's in a lot better shape.
Theo Epstein knows exactly what needs to be done. Hopefully he'll get the results that he saw over in Boston.
There's a 2-2 fastball that caught the outside corner, and Ramirez is out looking, and that will end the inning. No runs, the leadoff hit, no errors, a runner left. The ninth inning is next as we go there. 16-8 Angels, the Angels Baseball Network and Fox Sports West. Inning baseball here in Tempe. The Angels leading the Dodgers 16-8. Pitcher number 7 of the afternoon for the Halos is Steven Geltz. He replaces Austin Wood. Wood came in and did a good job when he replaced Fernando Cabrera in the top of the 8th inning. Austin Wood retired the 2 batters he faced on back-to-back strikeouts in the 8th. So now Geltz will be the new Angel pitcher. And he was a right-hander who was with the Angels briefly a year ago. So far this spring, he's getting set for his 3rd appearance. And he's worked 2 innings. He's allowed a hit and a run. The run was on a home run ball that he gave up. So he is now set to work in his 3rd game this spring. And no one has appeared in more games than Geltz so far this spring, as he gets ready to work in the top of the 9th. Matt Wallach will lead it off. Then Nick Evans, and then the number 9 hitter will take over for the Dodgers. So it's the bottom 3rd of the batting order. Jose is headed downstairs, getting ready for post-game duties on Fox Sports West. We'll have a visit with Angels manager manager Mike Socia right after the conclusion of this ball game, so stay tuned for that. Here's the pitch, and that one is low and in on Wallach. 1 ball, no strikes. Well, a fair amount of fans have stuck around for the final 3 outs. The attendance today a little bit over 6,700, and the pitch found back to the screen. 1-1 the count. The two teams have combined for 30 hits and 24 runs today. Offense galore. Infield is back, and the outfield plays Wallach the opposite way to left center. He takes that pitch for a ball. 2 balls and 1 strike. Geltz is set. Next pitch. He misses high with that one. 3 balls, 1 strike. Geltz got into 2 games for the Angels last year. He pitched in 46 games in the Angels minor league a year ago, and between AA and AAA had a 3-1 record, 3.05 ERA. He just missed for ball 4 on Wallach, who has walked for the 2nd time since he came into the ball game. So the leadoff man is on for the Dodgers. That walked the 4th allowed by Angels pitching, and the Dodgers pitchers have walked 6 today. So not only all the hits, but 10 walks in the game as well, along with the 30 hits between the two teams. There's a swing and a miss by Evans for strike 1. Geltz is ready. The next pitch. That's a breaking ball that's low. 1 ball, 1 strike. Chris O'Brien, who's the DH, who doubled in a couple runs back in the 7th inning. He's waiting on deck. Took over for Castillo as the DH and 9-hole hitter. The pitch, and that one is a ball to count. 2 balls and 1 strike. Angels infield at double play depth. Geltz is ready. OK's the sign, and here's his next delivery. It's lifted in the air into shallow right field. The second baseman, Lindsey, going back. He'll make the catch on it with Olchin heading in from right field. The second baseman makes the call and catch for the out. 1 gone here in the 9th. Chris O'Brien will be the batter. O'Brien with 1 hit and the 2 RBIs so far today. O'Brien bats from the left side. He's a switch hitter, and he takes that pitch low. 1 ball, no strikes. Come on out. Outfield playing him the opposite way. The pitch hits outside. 2 balls and no strikes the count on O'Brien. Here's the 2-0. He goes after it and bounces it right to first. It's fielded by Navarro. Goes to second for 1. Relay to first. It's in time, and it's a game-ending double play. Boy, that was a nice job by Efren Navarro. He could have easily just gone to the bag at first to get the out on the batter, but he threw the ball up to second. Stamets relay back to Navarro in time, and the game will end on that 3-6-3 double play. So good job by the Angels there, and Geltz comes in and ends up facing just 3 batters here in the top of the 9th inning. No runs in the inning, no hits, no errors, a walk, and nobody left. Angels come away with their first victory here in the Cactus League as they beat the Dodgers today, a Dodgers split squad, by the final score of 16-8. The Halos able to celebrate a victory here today in Tempe. Mike Scioscia exchanging some pleasantries with some old friends out on the field as he talks to some Dodger coaches. Steve Yeager, certainly familiar with him. Mike addressing him as we speak, and we'll be joined by Mike Scioscia and Jamie Maggio in just a moment. The totals today: 16 runs, 15 hits for the Angels, who committed one error. And in the ballgame, the Angels ended up leaving a total of 6. The Dodgers had 8 runs. They had 15 hits. The Dodgers had 4 errors today, and they will end up leaving 9 runners on base. We'll have the totals as far as the winners and the losers, the pitching for the Angels. The time of the game was 3 hours and 30 minutes. And the attendance here today in Tempe, 6,744. The winning pitcher for the Angels today was Kevin Jepsen. He gets the victory in relief. And the losing pitcher, a former Angel, Matt Palmer, who was roughed up in the 3rd inning. That was the inning where the Angels scored the 7 runs. Palmer gave up all 7 in just 2/3 of an inning. But as it turned out, there were a couple of errors in that inning, and all those runs the Angels scored in that 7-run 3rd inning ended up being unearned runs. So the Halos come away with the victory, the win, the first this spring for the Angels, who now have a record of 1-5-2. And the Dodgers, they dropped their 2nd game this spring. They were also trailing in their game against the Padres, so by day's end, their record could be even up at 3-3-2. We'll visit with Mike Scioscia in just a moment. He is standing by with Jamie Maggio to get things underway with Mike Scioscia.
All right, thank you, Terry. Mike, I know it's only spring training, but it's got to feel good to get the win here today.
Oh, it feels great. I think, last couple of days we had a couple ties and a couple of tough losses, but it's a great experience for our kids, and they finally finished off a game, and it was a good day.
And Josh Hamilton, 2 for 2 today with the 2-run home run. Hitting coach Jim Efford talked about wanting him to work on his patience at the plate. Are those the kind of at-bats you want to see?
Well, I think Josh has patience, although it doesn't always show up as a walk. He waits for a good pitch to hit, and he turns it loose. Had some great at-bats. Saw 16 pitches today, which was a great day for Josh.
You got to look at the starting rotation today with Jared Weaver on the hill. Also, your core players getting involved in the game. What's your assessment so far, and what do you think you need to work on?
Well, right now we're starting to get some of our core pitchers into the game, and Weave went today, and we'll get CJ out there tomorrow, and Kevin Jepsen pitched out of the pen. So they're getting they're going to start to get into the flow, and I think the big thing is for the first week, some of our younger pitchers weren't commanding counts the way you need to. Hopefully, some of our guys, as they get out there for that 2nd, 3rd time, are going to have a little better command, and on the defensive end will play better.
We've also got an infield spot open. The guys competing for that spot sure had a good game today, too.
Oh, no doubt. We've got a couple spots open, and we've got some minor league free agents that came over, some veteran guys, and Drew Romine had a great day today, so that was good to see.
All right, well, congrats on the win, and we'll see you next time.
All right, thanks a lot.
All right, Terry, back to you.
All right, I want to thank Jamie Maggio. Mike Scioscia obviously feeling good today as the Angels come away with their first victory here this spring in Arizona. And the final score today from Tempe, the Angels over a Dodgers split squad 16-8. For those of you watching on TV, Jose Mota and Mark Ubisaw will have a lot more post-game analysis. And on the radio side, we'll have more from Tempe as well. This is the Angels Baseball Network and Fox Sports West.
Only Mazda